diverse city it is, and to have neighborhoods. I am not sure where this is going tonight. We didn't have much warning that this was going to happen. We thought Saturday was the worst. The neighborhood here that I've spent the last 7 days, seemed to be over it, and now it is. We just don't know. Wolf.
All right, Miguel. Thanks very, very much. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. CNN's live coverage of this disaster unfolding of the streets in Baltimore continues right now with Erin Burnett out front.
Thank you very much, and good evening to all of you. I'm Erin Burnett, and we do have our continuing coverage of this breaking news story tonight. Baltimore erupting. We have riots in Baltimore right now, out on the streets tonight. It was peaceful. It has turned ugly and violent. You are looking at live pictures. Stores have been looted and destroyed, now even lit on fire by rioters. There's a massive fire and fear that it could get worse as darkness falls tonight. The angry rioters today overtook a police car. They smashed the roof and the windows with bats, metal rods, and rocks. Others set a police car on fire. That fire spread to a second patrol car. Rioters then set a third car alight. 7 officers have now been injured. Some of them have broken bones, and one officer was actually found unconscious. This is according to the Baltimore Police Department. All are now receiving treatment. We have seen the crowds looting stores, and this is what Wolf was just talking about. That CVS was looted. You could see people running in and completely emptying that store, breaking the windows, destroying it. A check cashing store also looted, a liquor store. And once this looting started, there was very little, if any, police presence actually seen at any of those locations. It's a stark contrast from when the riot first broke out this afternoon, when heavily armed police clashed with protesters on the streets. There was fighting going on, hand-to-hand combat, if you will, multiple arrests. Maryland State Police are ordering an additional 40 troopers to Baltimore tonight as darkness falls. Our Athena Jones was reporting right by a high school. A lot of students walked out this afternoon, reportedly to join rioters, throwing rocks at police and reporters. A large number of officers carrying a wounded policeman moved into exactly where Athena was standing. Here's what happened.
A police officer clearly hurt here. Look at that. Do you see that? This is a police officer that has been pulled out. You got to move back. Move back.
That was Athena this afternoon. That police officer injured outside a high school. Just moments ago, the situation raging out of control. Tonight's game between the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago White Sox postponed. Literally 20 minutes before, they said they were going to go ahead with it. The situation has deteriorated so quickly and so rapidly that they had to then postpone that game. All of this was on the day of the funeral for Freddie Gray, the man at the heart of this, the black man who died after suffering a spinal injury while in police custody. We begin our coverage tonight with Miguel Marquez. Miguel, it's been incredible to watch you out on the street. As you said, you've been in this neighborhood for 6 days. The word you just used a few moments ago describing what you were experiencing at this moment was holy hell.
Holy hell is right. We don't know where this is going now. We had very little notice that this was going to happen today, this protest from a high school that has just exploded into pockets of absolute riot and chaos throughout the city of Baltimore. This is the corner of North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue. This is near, just a few blocks from where Freddie Gray was arrested and the police station where he was eventually taken and then moved into an ambulance there. The police here, the riot police, have moved the crowd down this way. On the other side of them is the CVS that was burning for about a half hour before fire trucks were able to get in there. There were 2 vehicles, one a police vehicle right down the way from it that had burned for an hour with no fire trucks around to service it. The hose that you see there at the end of the police line, to the left of the police line, we watched them hook that up in a very fast and professional way, and then as soon as the firefighters walked away or turned their backs, somebody walked up with a knife and cut holes, 2 holes into that fire hose. Firefighters were able to come back, shut the water off, remove the link, and then reestablish the connection. So they are getting water on the fire now, and I can tell you that the smoke and the fire in that CVS is much less right now. But absolute pandemonium. I want to show you here. This is Pennsylvania Avenue. That's toward downtown Baltimore. This is the area where the the street that they walked down on Saturday, this is the direction that most of the protesters, or I shouldn't even call them protesters, rioters and looters at this point, where they have moved. I understand they are moving toward downtown Baltimore. It is not clear where. I understand the arena.
My ancestors woke me up this morning. They said, son, you do know what time it is, don't you? I said, what time is that? They said it's wartime. So welcome to the war front, brothers and sisters. Glad you can be tuned in this Monday, April 27th, 2015, to the War on the Horizon program. Man, oh man, we got a lot of things going on in our community. You were just listening to the Comedy News Network, otherwise known as CNN, the small hat controlled, operated Baby Israel station. We call it Baby Israel CNN. That's Baby Israel over here in Western Israel, which we call America. And we're talking about the situation in Baltimore, where you have a bunch of a lot of people who are upset about the fact that the police are murdering black people around the country, and in particular, a young brother, Freddie Gray, who was apparently murdered in cold blood by police who kidnapped him. He was walking down the street, jogging, what have you, and apparently they kidnapped him, about 6 of them, kidnapped him, put him in a vehicle, and then murdered him and broke his neck and severed his neck from his spine. So, I mean, we're talking about, pure brutality, and just murdered him. And I apparently think that that the people are not supposed to be upset by that. And many of the young people in particular are just outraged because, of course, these things tend to happen mostly to our young people. I think the young brother was 25, if I'm not mistaken. And it just marks another incident in this waging and raging war against black people in America. Another young black man with potential and a future and a life ahead of him, murdered by terrorists, police terrorism, and the people, the brothers and sisters in Baltimore are just really, really going off. So they're upset, they're angry, and they really, really, really taken to the streets. So as you heard there, the police, they make it bigger than it is in terms of the fact that, they murder someone. And then when the young brothers and sisters use the only outlet that they have to walk and protest and say, this is wrong, then, of course, invariably, matter of fact, I'm going to read something to you because, see, when you listen to the whites, they always give some very, very unfair and unreasonable explanations of what really occurred in the situation. Now, what we know is that there was a young brother running down the street in Baltimore. The police see him, and it's not sure whether or not he saw them and started running or if he was already running, but he had committed no crime that they know of, no crime that they can even say. They just saw him running. And so the police just ran up on him, tackled him. He was with 2 brothers, I think. I think it was him and another brother. They took them off into a police vehicle for like an hour. Matter of fact, when they tackled him, he said, I need a breather. I need one of the things you breathe out of. And he said, I need that. And they didn't give it to him, didn't give him any medical help, took him off for like 45 minutes or an hour, and then finally took him to the hospital where a few days later he died. They had broken his neck. An innocent black man, having committed no crime, gets his neck broken and murdered by a terrorist who infiltrated the police. Some would say the police is a terrorist organization. I can buy that as well. But I'm going to say you have white terrorists who've infiltrated the police and are posing as police, but really they're terrorists because they go around murdering black people, which would then, of course, give black people the need to defend ourselves because we're actually dealing with a terrorist unit that's posing as law enforcement. But law enforcement, by definition, it's not, at least on paper, it's not supposed to go around murdering people. So we have to assume this to be a terrorist organized effort because it's happening all around the country. I'm going to go read something to you. It's from the Melanoid Nation because People have been very agitated and upset about the murder of this young brother. And Saturday they did a, I guess you want to call it a protest, and they rallied, and they were peacefully walking from where they murdered the young man to downtown Baltimore. And I'm going to read this article. It's from the Melanoid Nation. Never read this, never actually heard about this website before, but I read this article, and I thought it was very necessary and very important because what they have on this, I hadn't heard anywhere else, but it made so much sense. And this is live reporting with live on the scene reports of what occurred here in Baltimore. And let me go right here to this article. Is entitled, "Violence Erupts in Baltimore After Suspected White Supremacists Provoke Peaceful Protesters." Now listen to this article. And this is firsthand reporting. Thousands of protesters took to the streets Saturday in the largest Freddie Gray rally yet, and after hours of peaceful demonstrations, pockets of protesters smashed out police car windows and storefronts after they were provoked by suspected white supremacist sports spectators who were in the area for a baseball game. So you got these devils at a baseball game. They're in the area, going to their bars, drinking their liquor, being the devils they are. Racial tensions are already high over the death of an innocent, unarmed black man named Freddie Gray. Gray, they say died, but I'm going to say was murdered. Well, he died, actually. That's the day he actually died, so that was the day, the official murder date I would give. April 19th, after suffering a fatal spinal injury while in police custody. That's a nice way of saying the police broke his brother's neck. Authorities have not explained how or when Gray's spine was injured. Police have said Gray should have received medical attention at the spot where he was arrested before he was put inside a police transport van, handcuffed without a seatbelt, a violation of the department's policy. The protest Saturday over the death of Gray turned violent, and the mainstream media made a point to focus on the black protesters who caused property damage. But they failed to mention that the protesters were initially peaceful until they were antagonized by suspected white supremacists. One person on Facebook who was allegedly part of the protest reported, and this report came directly from someone who was at the protest. She said, it's a sister, "We were peaceful. We walked through 3 miles of Baltimore's worst neighborhood and nothing jumped off. Black non-protesters were using their cars to block traffic." So brothers and sisters were saying, okay, we're going to block the traffic and let the people go through. No police were there when we were in the hood, and no violence happened. So everything was all good. The people did their own protest. The brothers and sisters held off traffic and let the people do their thing. Once we got downtown and the police were on every corner, the whites were calling us N-words. I want you to hear that again. The whites were calling us N-words. I want you to hear that again. This is not me paraphrasing. The whites were calling us N-words. Calling the white protesters N-word lovers. Trying to plow us with their cars. And in turn, they got drug out their cars and their cars were damaged. So here you got whites, black people protesting peacefully in their own community, walking downtown and say, hey, this is wrong, no justice, no peace, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, whites come up, you N-words, good he got killed, you N-words, to a group of peaceful black people who are angry and upset that this man was murdered. So what we're seeing now is that whites are being supportive of the murder of this young brother by police. Whether or not these were small hats who were sitting there to antagonize the situation, because that's one of the things that they're doing to try to create this race war, or whether they were just typical standard white folk doing what whiteys do. Antagonizing, kill, abuse, and otherwise mistreat black people. Either way, this is what occurred. So the sister says, my son and I were pushed by white, she calls them men, but I never call them men, I'll say white males. So here you have a sister and her son, they walking, and then you have these devils, grown males, start coming up and pushing the sister and the little brother. As I was about to tase them, so the sister came out there ready. She had a little taser saying, I ain't going to let these crackers come at me like this. A group of black men came up and handled them. So the brothers, so I want to give all my brothers a shout out. The ones that was punching whiteys in the nose and throwing trash cans through these bars, like, you're not going to call us the N-word. Again, you're not going to call us N-word. You're not going to attack our women, because if you call us N-words, it's obvious the next thing you're going to do is attack our women and our children. Let me read that again. Once we, the black people, brothers and sisters, got downtown and the police were on every corner, so now the whiteys know that the police are protecting them. The whites were calling us N-words, calling the white protesters N-word lovers, trying to plow us with their cars, and in turn they got drug out of their cars and their cars were damaged. So let's see how it goes. First they call you the N-word. Then what do? My son and I were pushed by white males. So first they call you N-word. Now they devalue you. You have no value. Once they do that, they do what? They come in on your women. Then they come in on the children. But what happens if they're real black men around? And in turn, they got drugged out of their cars and their cars were damaged. The brothers jumped up and did what they did. As I was about to tase them, you see now the whites have called you N-words. Now they pushing your women and children. A group of black men came up and handled them. Now, I don't have to tell you what handled them means when brothers get out and decide that we black men again and not a bunch of ends. We black men and we going to stand up for our community. Brothers went out there and got busy with these crackers. Crackers realized they better have some police with guns with them because they whooped these crackers. You can go online and see the videos. I mean, they was beating crackers. White boys talking trash, whop, 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 just punching them right upside their head. Now, hear these, and for those that are new listeners, you're going, wow, why is he saying crackers? If they calling us N-words, at least I'm not calling my own people N-words. But if some white folks standing on the corner calling us N's, I don't have a problem with calling them crackers. I don't actually have a problem with calling any of them crackers. But I'm just saying, for the sake of the argument, I don't have a problem calling them crackers. But I'm not going to call my own people out our name. But I want you to see what happens. That word evokes something. And in this case, it evoked the right thing. It evoked the brothers to say, nah, we're not going to let these white racists attack our women and children and call us out our name. And they started throwing trash cans through windows, beating up devils out there, talking junk and calling us out of our names. I mean, you can actually see the videos. Yet we are labeled as the animals, the sister goes on to say. Yes, it did turn chaotic, but only after outsiders agitated. In other words, after the whites started calling the brothers and sisters N-words and attacking women and children and trying to ram the brothers and sisters who were doing a peaceful march with their vehicles, that's when they got dragged out of their cars and got dealt with. And that's how it's supposed to be. Then he goes to say below is a video of some civil unrest caused by the white racists who caused the death of Freddie Gray. It's a very good article because it's called Melanoid Nation. You might want to check out this website. I've never checked it out before. I'm assuming it's a black, I'm looking at the home page. Has a beautiful family. It says, we promote human rights and justice for melanoid people of African descent. Oh, man, has a beautiful family, husband, wife, a boy and a girl. Man, that thing warms my heart. So I believe that it's a black. It is, because they're using terms like white supremacist judge. Let's kill a cough off the hook. So yeah, this is a website I want people to check out. I'm my first time checking this out, but it looks like a really good website. It looks like some really good information. Like I said, there's a beautiful picture of a brother, sister, son and daughter. And this is a good website. I'm looking through it now, thumbing through it. It's a very good website. Check it out, brothers and sisters. Melanoidnation.org. MELANOID Nation, NATION.org. Melanoidnation.org. You're going to like this. And I like what they're doing that I can see so far. And it looks like it's black and it's for black people and it's strong and they're not afraid to tell the truth. So check that out and give us some reviews on that. At any rate, I wanted to share that. And of course, after that went down Saturday, Sunday, the brothers hopped in the hoopty and rode on up the way. And with just our luck, because we saw all of them young brothers and sisters out there, and we said, we talked about this last week that they're going to try to really push our people to make reactionary decisions and then try to use that to go after us. So we wanted to be out there. If our people were out there, we want to be out there. We get there yesterday on Sunday, and we find out that it was the wake, so they had promised the parents that they weren't going to do anything during the wake or the funeral. The wake was yesterday, the funeral was today, and of course, right after the funeral, the brothers and sisters hit the street. And that's what you heard on CNN a little bit earlier. The brothers and sisters. Let me go back to CNN. Let's see if you can hear a little bit of this now, see what they're talking about now.
And a whole lot of them are operating off of blown emotion. And if I can get them to cooperate, to disperse, to clear the street, because I understand exactly what's going on now.
And who are these individuals, Pastor, with the black shirts on?
These are 300 black men. And their task is to assist in any way, shape, or fashion in dispersing the women and the children off the street.
Okay, so they're trying to bring calm out here.
They're bringing calm. They're bringing calm along with the Nation of Islam.
Okay. And so it's a group thing. Okay, thank you very much, Pastor.
Now, let me just stop because I got to say this and let you know what's going on. Now, this is CNN. This is very interesting. This is very interesting. Okay. Yesterday when we went up to Baltimore, because, again, we thought our brothers and sisters were going to be out there, and it's one thing to sit behind in the studio and talk about what's going on and how it should be handled. It's another thing to be there. We went there. This is really, really, wow. This is deep. I met a brother, and he said, I'm part of this 300 men. And I'm talking to the brother, oh, you part of 300? Yes. And we go through the community with our people, and we tutor young brothers. I'm like, wow, man. I said, look, man, you got 300 brothers? I said, oh, we gotta talk. I want to come check you brothers out if y'all doing this positive stuff in the community. We chopping everything up. And I don't know what it was that happened, but something hit my spirit, and I said, he was saying something about human or something. Whenever I hear that word human, I start thinking integrationist. And when I asked him, I said, well, is the 300 men, is it an all-black group? No, I gave him a DVD. I gave him Genocide. They've come to kill us. I said, yeah, this is something that, we talking about what they're doing to our people, and it's a global phenomenon, a situation, a racial genocide, and we got to organize to do something about it. I said, so check it out, man. You got 300 brothers. We definitely come out and check you out. And something just hit me. And I said, well, is your organization all black? And he was like, well, no, we have Hispanics and whites and black and everybody. Everybody's part of the organization because it's about manhood. It's not about any race or anything. I said, okay. So I said, well, we wouldn't be part of anything or supporting anything that's integrated. And he went on to start, giving an explanation. Okay, I respect that, brother, but, that's just what it is, blah, blah, blah. I said, no problem. But I realized then, I said, okay, what is it that black men and white males have in common to be going through the streets in a black community? And it was real creepy to me. And again, I'm not saying that they're not good brothers, because it seemed like it was a good brother, but this whole integrationist thing, between the homosexuality, the integrationism, and the black degeneracy, they just got us in a bind. Because we up there to get out in the street with our brothers and sisters. It happened to be turned off that night for the wake, but we meeting folks in the street. But when we trying to start building and connecting, all of a sudden they tell us, no, it's not a black group. Now, my experience has been when it's not a black group, it's a white-run group. Because generally speaking, it's not always the case, but whites don't typically follow black people. And I think y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not a standard thing for whites to participate in anything that black people are doing, they got to run it. Now, for those who like the chat room, I just opened up the chat room. And I'd like you all to go back and chat a little bit sometime. I open up the chat room. We don't get a lot of chat. So I want the brothers and sisters in the chat room to do a little chat. Just open it up for you. But this just happened yesterday when we were out there. So I stopped that just now when CNN was playing because I thought that was very appropriate for me to stop and do that. Because as I hear them point to those brothers all in black, that look like all black men, I started seeing a white male. He said, "Who is that?" He said, "Those are the 300 men, blah, blah, blah." And I'm hearing the preacher say that the fighting needs to stop. They trying to organize to keep the people out the street, and the 300 men are trying to keep the people out the street. I'm like, the 300 men, that's a integrated group. So I wanted to give you that information. Let me go back a little bit more to the live reporting so we can see what's going on.
Aaron, that the violence will escalate as night falls.
All right, Pamela Brown, thank you very much. As Pamela said, we expect the National Guard to be showing up momentarily because of the fears that they have in Baltimore about what's going to happen as it gets dark, which you've heard from locals as our reporters have been talking to them, and, of course, from law enforcement. Out front next, more on the breaking news, the major riot on the streets of Baltimore tonight, violence, looting, fires, a situation that has gotten out of control. We're going to go live to the streets and that state of emergency. President Obama has now been briefed on the riot as the National Guard is called in. We're going to go to the White House. We'll be right back.
All right, brothers and sisters. So now I'm going to go to another article because I want you to see how this played out. Now, here's the good thing is that we're not surprised by any of this. We talked about this, and last week we talked about them trying to bait us into reactionary behavior, and that they would use this as a justification to come in and do harm to our people. Now, I want to first say I'm very proud of these young people for fighting. I'm proud of our people for not sitting down and taking this murder and smiling and skinning and grinning like everything's okay with that. When I say that, I mean that. We definitely have to be cautious with how we respond due to the fact that we know that they're trying to bait us into killing us, and that that's the objective, to bring full-scale slaughter and murder to our people. And if they want to, I'm thinking it's going to really, their major move is going to hit us in August. But remember, like I told you last week, I'm not there in the room with these devils, so I can't promise you that any time frame. I'm not the best at time frames. I'm pretty good at predictions, but I tell people all the time, what I'm not that good at is predicting time periods. With that said, I want to read another article because I think it's really important that we check this one out. This article is entitled, "Bloods and Crips Team Up to Protest Baltimore's Cops." Now, let me first say this. Baltimore is not one of the major cities with a lot of Bloods and Crips and a lot of gang activity. There's a lot of drug selling because there's not a lot of economic opportunity in Baltimore, but there's not a lot of gangs in Baltimore from my understanding. I've never heard that that's one of the major centers of Blood and Crip activity. I think you probably got more of that in New Jersey than you do in New York than you do in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken. So with that said, now this is how the Daily, this is called the Daily Beast, but this is something that was reported and that the white major media outlets were reporting as well. It's entitled, "Bloods and Crips Team Up to Protest Baltimore's Cops." Now, I want to be clear. I do not have any information that says that this is accurate, which is why we posed the question, is this real or is this propaganda? Because, of course, ideally, we would love to see the gangs, young black brothers and sisters, stop fighting one another and decide that it's time for them to organize and join forces to do something positive for our people. And that's something that I think most all of us would appreciate. So it's an exciting idea. And if it happened, realistically, if our brothers and sisters actually made the decision that they wanted to go out here and stand up for the community and stand up for black people and try to defend our community, I'd be the first one to say we got to support that, whatever that means, whether it's giving them good press, whatever that means, coming up with some financial means to help them maintain what they're doing, whether that's going in. I do free education courses if that was happening. If the brothers were sitting down, I say, I'll come in every day. You ain't got to pay me nothing. Let me just drop some of these jewels on these young brothers and tell them, yo, this what's going on. This how it's happening. This what's going on, and this what you got to know. Here's your friends. Here's your enemies. This how you work. Blah, 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 blah. I have no problem with it. Matter of fact, I'd love to do it. But that might not be the only thing. Sometimes it might be letting them come on a forum like this and say, hey, we're going to keep the peace, but what we need is this, that, and the other. And also dispel any misnomers. Like if they're saying this is all about them becoming violent, they say we're not becoming violent. We're trying to turn over a new leaf, and instead of terrorizing our community, we want to be defenders of our community because nobody else is protecting our people. That's what we want to hear from our brothers and sisters. And if we provide them the platforms that we have to get their voices out there, that may be something that will be of benefit. Like we said, of course, finances always help, organization. We talk to people who have facilities and say, hey, can we use a facility to do a training program or various different things. In other words, whatever it would take to get it done, we would love to do it. We would have to consider doing if that was something that was really realistically what was going on. Now, we have to remember in the spirit of what we talked about last week that there's another possibility. And I'm going to read the whole article. I just wanted to, I want to kind of set it up. We know that they want to sponsor the idea of having to come and kill more black men. So the question is, did the Bloods and Crips really say, hey, we're going to stop fighting each other, we're going to join forces, and we're going to go out here and defend our community? Or is this their way of trying to make the brothers in the street look so dangerous to justify coming in and starting that process of bringing in the National Guard and killing black people long before the August date that I had predicted? And I'll admit, I don't always know when things will happen. Now, let me go back to this live report, and I just want you to think about this. This could be a ploy to make it seem like the brothers and sisters in the street are so dangerous that they have to go in and start assaulting brothers and sisters in our community. So I'm going to go back to the live coverage right now. I want you to think about that, then I'm going to come back to the article.
Here. So we're going to be taking that live as soon as we get word of exactly when she's going to begin speaking. As I said, that could be any minute. We do know that she had a conversation with the President of the United States today. He has been briefed on this. Michelle Kaczynski's out front from the White House. And Michelle, this is now something that is front and center on the President's desk.
Well, it is, but I think what we've been seeing is a very measured, you might even call it a low-key response from the White House. And if you look at other prior incidents of questionable behavior by police over the last couple of months, that's what we've seen lately. I mean, the President hasn't wanted to get out there and get in the briefing room and make a grand statement about this. What the White House wants to do is have this first be handled within the local community, but offer the assistance of the Department of Justice. In fact, for a while today, while this was going on, we were seeing the pictures of the rioting escalating, but then at the same time here at the White House, we were seeing pictures of the President walking around with the Prime Minister of Japan, who's in town for a state visit. And the White House wasn't putting out a statement just yet. We were wondering when we were going to hear something. Is the President going to appeal for calm? Is he going to make a comment on this? But it's pretty consistent with what we've seen, that they haven't wanted to sort of give the young rioters a higher profile than maybe is deserved. They sometimes want to give it some time and see how it plays out. I mean, the pictures are stunning and extremely disturbing, but still, in the grander scheme of things, this is a localized disturbance. It's not spreading from city to city across the country right now. So the White House hasn't wanted to say too much. What they did was deliver a readout or a summary of this meeting that was held with the brand new Attorney General, Loretta Lynch, this afternoon. And by the way, that meeting was not called because of this unrest.
All right, so we'll wait for a moment to come back. But you notice how they're calling the brothers and sisters who are out there upset and angry rioters. They're not rioters. These are brothers and sisters that are very angry, upset about what's happening and what's occurring with our people. And as a result, they're out there responding. Now, let me go back to this article. Bloods and Crips team up to protest Baltimore's cops. Things are apparently so bad in Baltimore that even the city's gang adversaries, along with the Nation of Islam, are joining forces. Editor's notes. Hours after this story published, the Baltimore Police Department issued a warning about a credible threat against law enforcement from gangs, who they say have formed a partnership to, quote-unquote, take out officers. A police spokesman declined to say whether the threat is related to Freddie Gray's death. Before protests over Freddie Gray's death turned chaotic, an unlikely alliance was born in Baltimore on Saturday. Rivals from the Bloods and the Crips agreed to march side by side against police brutality. The alleged gang members are pictured on social media crowding together with Nation of Islam activists who told the Daily Beast they brokered the truce in honor of Gray, who died last week after sustaining spinal injuries while in police custody. In one photo, a gang activist in a red sweatshirt crouches to fit into a group photo with rivals decked out in blue bandanas. This is a quote here. I can say with honesty, those brothers demonstrated that they can be united for a common good, said Carlos Muhammad, a minister at Nation of Islam's Mosque No. 6. At the rally, they made the call that they must be united on that day. It should be commended. The detente was only a small part of the demonstration, drawing 1,200 people to Baltimore's City Hall, but it raised eyebrows among activists. Are things so bad that even Baltimore's gang adversaries are joining forces to combat law enforcement? Another quote, we must unite and stop killing one another, Muhammad told the Daily Beast, and the Bloods and the Crips can help rebuild their community. So we go on, another quote, the fight against police brutality has united people in many ways that have not seen regularly, and that's in ways that we have not seen regularly, and that's really powerful. The reality is police have been terrorizing black people as far back as we can remember. It will take all of us coming together to change a corrupt system. Still, it's not the first time gangsters called a truce to focus on another foe. In August, the Bloods and Crip rivals in St. Louis, now protesting against police in Ferguson, Missouri, who held a sign in red and blue letters, no more Crips, no more Bloods, one people, no gang zone. Young black men are dying from the police, and they are dying from the gangs too, one activist said, but this is a bigger problem. So we took it upon ourselves to focus our energy on making a better solution for the community we live in. So in essence, it looks like the Nation of Islam is helping get the brothers together. Another quote goes on, I want to also thank the Nation of Islam who have been very present in our efforts to keep calm and peace in our city, she said. We definitely, I'm going to tell you now, brother, says we're going to definitely be up in Baltimore tomorrow because we know this thing is going to keep going and intensifying, and I don't know exactly what we're going to be able to do, but whatever we can do to be with our brothers and sisters to know what's going on, we're going to do. I'm going to go back to the live coverage, and we're going to come back and talk about what we just heard in that article. This is just some fag on CNN, God forbid, but I'm just here with this fag is saying.
Because of brutality. That's the state of the emergency.
Well, that's the point Reverend Bryant was making as well. Go ahead, David.
These are two different things. If the police are doing something wrong, that needs to be squelched. And anybody who knows me knows that I speak out very strongly against inappropriate police conduct. This is something completely different. People are destroying the livelihoods of innocent people who happen to be living in the wrong neighborhood. That is wrong, has always been wrong, will always be wrong, and must be stomped out. I don't understand why it's even an issue that we're debating.
I mean, LZ, I see your point, LZ, but isn't there a problem just in the fact that the police, who knows exactly what the reason are, but David's point, they might be intimidated. So they're not stepping up and stopping this because they're scared about the next video that someone's going to put out there.
I'm scared about the next brown person that gets killed just trying to get to one place to another. Again, I'm not saying that the violence that we're seeing right now happens.
I can't listen to this much mouth fag. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. Now, here it is. You got fags speaking out on behalf of black people. It's really bad. There should be black men and black women of some integrity that should be speaking out on behalf of our people. But what they do, they got us on all corners. They got fags being the voices of our people. They got Uncle Toms going and telling our people to be calm and love everybody. constantly talking about how wrong what the brothers and sisters are doing. Why are Negroes allowing whites to direct the dialogue? No black person should have any dialogue except this murder of black people has to stop. And I'm not going to call the victims of this, which are those young people who are upset and angry, I'm not going to try to change the argument and make them, the criminals. That's why we got to really do something. I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about the article, but then we're going to talk about what we got to do with these Uncle Toms.
And we're going to talk to someone who was on the scene when the riot began to talk about this moment. Why did protests that had been lauded, rightfully so, for being so peaceful, turn so very violent?
So violent. Ain't no dead crackers. It ain't violent. I mean, it's they really drama king. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit nervous for my brothers and sisters in Baltimore because I can hear the way that they're doing this media coverage. Oh, they're so violent. I mean, ain't no dead crackers nowhere, and we're violent. It's not like St. Petersburg where they got that thing in back in the 80s when they were killing brothers. Next thing you know, they was killing crackers laying in the street dead, and I mean, 2 or 3 of them just got dragged through the streets, and that was actually violence. It was justified, but I'm saying that was violent. No, they haven't killed nobody. They upset. It's mostly young people saying we're dissatisfied. It's unacceptable. You murdered a young man, and it's unacceptable. We're not going to tolerate it. And if they burn a few buildings and they trash a few stuff, they probably hurt themselves more than anybody. But at least they showing resistance, which we appreciate, and I have tremendous respect for them. But these Uncle Tom leaders, we're going to talk about that. But let me go back to this article. When we talk about this Bloods and Crips thing, when you read this article, it doesn't sound like the police are making it sound. It sounds like the brothers are saying, you know what, we're going to stop killing each other. We see we have a real enemy. We're not each other's enemy, and we got to recognize that. So that's what our people should be doing. I commend the Nation of Islam in any regards in terms of whatever they're doing to help bring the Bloods and Crip brothers together, to realize that they don't need to be in any rival gangs, that we all in a one gang called the black race, and we got a gang of white devils trying to murder us. We commend them to that regard, to any regard that they have come to any type of truce. We commend that. We think that it's the right thing to do, and we believe that it can be very effective. But if you listen to the way the whites are structuring it, the police did, they keep saying that it's an organized effort between the Black Guerrilla Army, which is, big presence in the prisons. Then you have the Bloods and the Crips, and they're making it like there's a gang war and the police are in such danger, thus sounding like they're preparing to justify going through the community and doing some damage. I don't know if they're going to do that due to the close proximity that this is to Washington, D.C., but I don't know if that makes a difference because, again, I'm not sitting in the rooms when they do this stuff, but I certainly can see that they're gearing up for something. So I'm hoping that tonight that this won't be a horrible night for the young brothers and sisters in the community. But at any rate, I'm also hoping that the young brothers and sisters are deciding to put aside their differences. Let me say this. I think it's very important to say this. No matter what's happening out there, a lot of our people are genuinely out there saying what's happening out here is wrong. We have to figure out what it is that we can do where we are. All of us can't make it to Baltimore. All of us are not even in a position to do anything to assist physically where they are. However, one of the things, and I really thought about this today as this was happening, I'm listening to how the whites are characterizing what's happening, and then you're listening to how it's being characterized here. We have not called anybody no rioter or no looters. We have not justified the police murder and terrorism that's going on around this country and the murder of our brother Freddie Gray. We haven't written that issue off, and more than anything, we're writing off the significance of a few brothers and sisters out there showing their rage and anger, which they should be doing, and in no way, shape, or form saying anything negative about their resistance. If you listen to what we're talking about, if someone's around the world listening and hearing what we're saying tonight, they're not going to think anything negative about those brothers and sisters. They're going to feel sorry that black people are getting murdered like this. They're going to understand how these young brothers and sisters who have no money and feel like they have no outlet other than disorder, and they're going to see, wow, they were out there peacefully protesting, and when they're doing that, they got random whites coming calling them N-words and trying to beat up sisters and children. And then you would imagine that the brothers would go punch these whiteys in the head. When people hear that, they go, wow, black people are really under siege, and it's sad that they have to deal with this from the country and the government that they live in. That does not turn our people into monsters that should be exterminated. That shows our people really more in a freedom fighter, defensive position, trying to defend their own interests and lashing back out of anger of a legitimate issue that we should have, that they're murdering our people all throughout this country. We have to start doing it on a more organized basis, though. And this is one of the things we had started some time ago, and we had asked people, but I think we have a more legitimate opportunity to get it done now. What I'd like brothers and sisters to do, somebody said they believe that they're setting our brothers and sisters up in Baltimore, saying that they think that they may be setting them up to say that they're terrorist groups. I can believe that because the way that they're structuring it. But again, we have the obligation. I'm listening to the folks on television. I'm listening to radio. I'm listening to black people. And black people are not taking definitive positions. No, this was what appears to be terrorist, murderous police, state-sponsored terrorism, where they murdered this young man. No one's using the word murder. He ended up dead. He didn't end up dead. Somebody murdered him. They broke this young man's neck. We want accountability. We want these criminals to be dealt with in the manner that murderers should be dealt with. They kidnapped him. Since he wasn't committing a crime, it's kidnapping. And then they murdered him. When nobody's talking like that. So what happens is, even when we're trying to defend the fact that our people are angry, we're on the white folks' side. Well, this shouldn't be going down like this. We shouldn't be talking about how it's going down. We should be talking about, really, we should be glad that they're not killing these police that are murdering our people. If these brothers and sisters literally found the addresses of these police officers that had murdered this young man and were at their doorstep trying to get justice, an eye for an eye, many of them are Christian, so they have the right, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a limb for a limb, and a life for a life. There could be 6 police officers whose lives would be on the line. But they're not doing that. So anything they do short of that is easily justice. They haven't even gone to find these police officers and to try to bring them to justice themselves, which, since the police are not doing it, might be a reasonable alternative. In other words, we are not verbalizing the legitimacy of our people's anger and the violent, terroristic environment that we're in, such that it then makes it not legitimate for them to talk about our people being rioters, our people starting this, because what they're doing is planting in the people's minds that our people are the bad guys. But we're not fighting back. And I realize if the brothers and sisters are going to hit the streets, then the things that we can do, one, is in the air. I'm talking about on Facebook. I'm talking about on our radio program tonight. I'm talking about, we were talking about having the woe reporters, meaning anytime like something this happens, we want to have brothers and sisters, at least 1 or 2 brothers and sisters all around the country. We already have it set up when we were doing our woe reports, but now we want to have it on YouTube where people can do live streaming and do their reports and then place them on this same YouTube channel so that our people can get our own message out there in a war on the horizon type of way to tell our people what's going on and how they feel and get the real report from the street so we can know what's really going on and we can have one place to go to get it. We got to start telling our own story. Another thing we got to do, though, we got to start addressing these Uncle Toms because we get brothers and sisters that are ready to fight, and we got to make sure that it's the right fight. We don't want to walk into deaths. However, we can't sit back and allow this stuff to continue to happen either because we end up dead. So naturally, some young people are going to respond to this kind of brutality and murder and terrorism. We need to justify, guide, and support any legitimate organized efforts of our young people to resist this type of terrorism that we're facing. Because they're fighting for us. We just need to get them on the right direction. But we also got to start going up against the Uncle Toms. Hear me out. If you in Warner Horizon, if you are part of this, you consider yourself part of this Warner Horizon community, we got to start being in these places to speak. I hate the talk stuff, but I ain't going to lie. I realized, man, it just hit me today. No, I'm missing it. The white police murder, then the white reporter justifies the murder by trivializing it. Well, we don't know exactly what happened between this time and this time, but it sure seems strange that the neck was broke. Now, by saying it like that, it says it like it's a question of what happened, as opposed to the way we should be saying it. Wow. And we talk about terrorism around the world. This is terrorism. This is murder. This is like I feel like I'm living in 1932. I mean, this is just white lynch mobs. Maybe we should call them lynch mobs because they police that are lynching people. The sister said we should call it lynching. I said, yeah, it's lynching. You lynching. It's a lynching that police do. It's a state-sponsored lynching of black people. And then they go, whoa, I think that's extreme. No, I think it's extreme for you to sit here and question how a man's neck gets broken with 6 police officers break it. You know, and we got to start. So what we got to start doing, brothers, is we got to start being in places where these conversations are being had, because what happens is our people get momentum and then lose all the momentum because the words that they need to inspire their actions, to give a righteous paradigm and construct to what we're doing doesn't exist, because we're not out there fighting. I'm going to tell you, many of us, I want to be out there with the young folks, and I'm one of the main ones, want to be out there with them too, but reality set into me. Well, maybe I'm not out there tonight, but I'm on the radio. I have to support any legitimate resistance to this abuse. Even if it's just out of anger, our brothers and sisters out there burning, I got to defend their behavior, because I don't want to legitimize nobody going in there with tanks and killing them. I didn't tell them to go out there and do that. You were on the program last week. We told you they're going to try to bait us. But once our people go out there out of legitimate anger, it's my responsibility to legitimize what they're doing, to try to provide some direction, and to give the words wherever I can in any situation that makes anybody that's trying to say that they're the bad guys, I have to make them lose that battle. Every battle is not physical. The brothers and sisters in the street are already in the street. They're not looking for us there. They're there already. They know what to do. They're doing it. What are we doing? I'm saying that because, whoa, we got to start standing up. If you're listening right now, I know we hate these Tom Joiners and Russ Paws and all of this foolishness. We got to start calling in on these folks. I can't do it. I'm the irritated genie. It looked weird for me calling into them as a caller. You got to do it. We a team. You got to start calling in these places. Hey, they're murdering our young people out there. These police are murderers. It's terrorism. And if the U.S. government has given us the example of what they do, what they call terrorism, they said somebody blew up those towers and killed people, and they went and bombed the country that wasn't responsible for it. Killed, maimed, raped, murdered, tortured, and the country that they went to didn't even do it. Well, we know what they do with terrorism, so we have a right, since we live in this country, to follow in good instructions. We got to fight back too. We got to start legitimizing what our people are doing, and then make sure we provide direction so that our people don't lead themselves to the slaughter. Our young people will listen if we're there for them to give them the appropriate information. But we got to be there, and we got to have the words to do this. Our voice needs to be heard. Everybody got to start fighting, even if it's not in the street. Everybody ain't in the street. That ain't your job. If you're an attorney, you got to start getting the words to start defending this. If you're in situations where you have social networks and y'all sit around and kicking and talk about stuff, you got to have the words to create the ideas. If you got a big Facebook page, you got to know which articles to post. The ones like I just told you from the Melanoid site, to post that so people get an idea and say, hey, did you know that brothers and sisters were being peaceful until the whites started calling them the N-word? And once they heard that, they wasn't tolerating that. Then they started attacking the women and children. Then the brother stood up like men and said, we ain't nobody's ends. And take 2 of these and call me in the morning, cracker. Brother say, take 2 of these and call me in the morning. That's right. I want y'all to understand, this is important because it's not just about, our people are making a bad decision. Don't look at it like that. Our people are moving. Even if they're moving wrong, it wouldn't matter. These young people are out there. They're fighting. They're resisting. They're angry. They should be. We got to defend them. We got to help them. Even if helping them means, okay, look, don't keep doing this because they're preparing to come in and slaughter you. So let's do this then. We got to give them alternative. But whatever we do, we got to be on the right side. And that's the problem. We look at something, don't like an aspect of it, and all of a sudden, we against it. No, we just got to get it to the right side. There's certain things we can't tolerate. Somebody raping children, there ain't no right side. It's just you wrong. But young people that are angry and out there resisting, that's a good thing. We got to start being a voice to provide leadership, we got to get in there and figure out how do we take this anger with our young people and get them to the point of wanting to hear the message about what's really going on in our community of genocide. This message of what genocide is. How do you lead them to the genocide lecture? How do you lead them to YouTube, to the things that they can see to open their mind, to Dr. John Henry Clark, to Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, to the master teacher Asher Kwesi, to the irritated genius Southeast, to Dr. Malimu Barudi, to Dr. Francis Cress Wells. How do you start sending them there? How do you lead them to Lumumba's Revenge by African Insurrection Music Artists United Front? How do you lead them to Cypher Incomplete? How do you lead them to Brothers Keeper and Queen Jasira? How do you lead them to the things that will start feeding them something different? How do we take this energy and reach them now while people are angry and start saying, okay, because the anger is going to subside and they'll be right back to where they were. Now we got to capture them in these moments and be ready to capture them and bring them in our direction. That's why we're going to be out there tomorrow night, hard, strong, with our people out there and trying to figure out exactly how we pull it in and direct this energy in the right direction, because young people are not like us. They're not cowards. They're not afraid. I'm just being honest. I know some people, I'm not a coward. Yes, we are. We know we get old, we become cowards. We become scared. We got children. We want to take care of them. And we don't want nothing to happen. As men, we don't want to see ourselves not here for our children because we grew up without fathers in the home. I know I did. And it's a worst fear, man. I don't want to leave my son without a father like I was. I don't want to leave my daughter without a father. I've heard those stories too often of what happens when the daughters don't have that love. We all scared when we get older. We're scared to do the things that we wouldn't have been afraid to do when we were younger. Well, fine. Our youth are not scared. Then let's take advantage of this and figure out how to use this to gain leverage and push our people forward. It's very important that we do that, and I see the energy coming now. It's the time that we can do that. I'm going to go right back. I think this is the mayor of Baltimore. She's talking now. We're going to hear what she has to say, and then we're going to come right back to the phone lines, brothers and sisters.
For it to be destroyed by thugs who, in a very senseless way, are trying to tear down what so many have fought for, tearing down businesses, tearing down, destroying property, things that we know will impact our community for years. We are deploying every resource possible to gain control of this situation and to ensure peace moving forward. I've been in contact with our governor, and he has agreed, and I've requested, and he has agreed to deploy the National Guard as soon as they are available. They will be immediately deployed. We've ordered a curfew be in effect, instituting tomorrow the curfew citywide, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Again, there will be a citywide curfew, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. This preliminary curfew will last for 1 week and be extended as it is necessary. Let me be clear, we already operate under a juvenile curfew, and those young people who are 14 and under have a 9 p.m. curfew because it is a school night. Over 14, it's 10 p.m. That is tonight and every school night. Again, we have ordered a curfew to be instituted starting tomorrow, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. And we've also activated the Emergency Operation Center to be available to have a administration-wide response to the incidents as they occur. I want to thank City Council President Jack Young for being here. I want to thank Councilman Brandon Scott for being here. Also, Councilman Eric Costello. I want to thank Kiefer Mitchell for being here on behalf of Governor Hogan and for all of your work coordinating this response. I'm going to ask Colonel D'Souza to speak, and then I will ask Council President Jack Young. Colonel.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. I'm Colonel D'Souza, Colonel Darrell D'Souza. I'm the Chief of Patrol for Baltimore City Police Department. At this point, I just want to mention a couple of things real quick, is that, like the mayor said, we love our Baltimore City. Right now, we're seeing unprecedented type of violence throughout the city, mainly towards the west side of Baltimore. We're not going to tolerate that. The police department is not going to stand for that. We're fully deployed at this point. We cancel leave for all our police officers. So they are deployed on the streets as we speak. Each shift is fully staffed. We called in outside resources from all over the state of Maryland to give us an assist here. We're not going to tolerate this. Our priorities right now is to restore order in the city. Our priorities right now is officer safety and the safety of the community. Thank you.
Council President.
Good evening. I am deeply saddened by what's taking place in the great city of Baltimore. This reminds me of 1968 when the riots were taking place during the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, where people were destroying their own stores and properties in their own community. This is unacceptable. This is not what Freddie Gray's family wanted. They asked that there be no protests, marches, or anything of that nature today. And the organizers of those marches are not participating in what's taking place today. As the mayor has stated, these are thugs who are seizing upon an opportunity to show their anger and their distrust and their frustration at the police department. This is not the way to do it. We have the Department of Justice in here, along with...
I'm sorry. I got to play this song. I'm so angry right now with these Mobutu race traitors. So the young people are thugs for stepping on a car. But the pigs that murdered our sons are not thugs for murdering our children. I want y'all to listen to this song because this is what I was talking about. We have got to get out there. The young people will go in the streets. They'll cause disruption and chaos. Those of us that call ourselves Pan-Africans, our job now is to be the voice to legitimize our people's frustrations and their actions. At the same time, trying to redirect the action to something more progressive, but we have to defend it. These stinking Mobutus, this song is for them.
30-year-old Colonel Desire Mobutu has become the new strongman of this young republic with the support of the majority of the Congolese army.
Mobutu had in fact been a trusted ally of Lumumba, who had appointed him head of the army only a few weeks earlier. He now declared he had deposed the Prime Minister.
Mr. Mobutu, we've been betrayed for your personal gain. It's very tragic when a brother turns savage, but I don't know which one is worse, a traitor or a faggot. You did it for the cabbage, the cheddar and the carrots. Because you fear the battle, you won't help us slay the dragon and the sadness. The enemy is close enough to grab him. If he's close enough to grab him, then he's close enough to stab him. Couldn't fathom pulling the trigger on Brother Malcolm, or working with the pigs to kill Fred Hampton, our chairman. A race traitor, the cracker pull your strings like a bass player. May you be forever erased, hater. Ain't no reason for treason, but if I see ya, I'ma beat you till you catch amnesia or stop breathing. You've been betrayed for your personal gain, and people spitting on your grave. Now they cursing your name, so was it worth it? And now today we still ain't free, so it seems it wasn't worth it to me. Mr. Mobutu, we've been betrayed for your personal gain, and people spitting on your grave. Now they cursing your name, so was it worth it? And now today we still ain't free, so it seems it wasn't worth it to me. Mr. Mobutu, what's a traitor's motivation? Is it the money? Do you fear confrontation with Satan, or disbelieve that we can run our own nation? You rather stay with the racists and it's disgracing. The razor I cut your face with, it's the same one you gon' feel in your chest, like when the bass hit. Shotty under your chin, give you a facelift. You already been judged, so don't you stay ish. You the type to be happy riding the slave ship. These cavemen made you see benefits to enslavement. May your blood forever cover the pavement. Every hour there's a warrior born, ready to kill till every coward is gone. Seize power and more, you eating out the crack of hand like a dog. Got you doing all the chores, even cleaning the floors. I really don't understand how you sleeping at all, but this issue will get resolved once the heat is involved. We've been betrayed for your personal gain, and people spitting on your grave. Now they cursing your name, so was it worth it? And now today we still ain't free, so it seems it wasn't worth it to me. Mr. Mobutu, we've been betrayed for your personal gain, and people spitting on your grave. Now they cursing your name, so was it worth it? And now today we still ain't free, so it seems it wasn't worth it to me. Mr. Mobutu,
Mr. Mobutu, I catch you in my scopes, I'ma do you. Yelling your hooroo, shoot you in the face from the moon roof. Mr. Mobutu, my fist spitting, lift your medulla. Official troopers, everybody with me a shooter. Separate the pitch from the poodle. Business as usual, it gets brutal. I show you how a goon move, ruin you. Hit up your funeral, spin on your tomb too. Mr. Mobutu, I must remove you and every offspring that came through you. Remain neutral, the same to you. So pick sides or get banged on too. Mr. Mobutu, you got a new suit, but still the same old coon. Learn some new moves, but dancing to the same old tune. Playing the game where there ain't no rules. Winning survival, and best believe I ain't gon' lose. Mr. Mobutu, I came to bring shame on you. Every time they say your name, crowds boo. Synonymous with foul dude. Mr. Mobutu, your days is through. And the deja vu, I aim at you. Squeeze in the same who. Wanna act and play like you. I ain't here to play no games with you, or trying to hear a thing from you. Mr. Mobutu, it's past time you pay some dues. Blood stains and pools, slugs laying in you. Mr. Mobutu, ain't enough praying for you. Mr. Mobutu, you through in hell's waiting for you. Mr. Mobutu.
Word. United Front. All y'all traitors gonna catch it, man. Word up. Gene Roberts, Officer Al, blah! Messy Jesse.
On the 1st of December, after 5 days on the run, Lumumba and 2 colleagues were captured by Mobutu's troops. Oblivious to world sensitivities, Mobutu allowed Lumumba to be manhandled and paraded in front of the cameras.
I was just explaining how property damage can happen during a peaceful protest. It is very unfortunate that members of your industry decided to mischaracterize my words and try to use it as a way to say that we are inciting violence. There's no such thing.
There was no order for the police to hold back to let some of this happen.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I've never said anything to that fact. Absolutely not. What we did was manage a peaceful protest in the best way possible, and when it got violent and destructive, we responded to that. We have the obligation to protect people's First Amendment rights. We also understand through the best training and best practices that we have to do everything that we can to de-escalate, and those were the tactics that were deployed yesterday. Did people exploit those tactics or that space that we gave to, that we facilitated to have peaceful protests for bad? Yes, they did, but we didn't endorse it. We didn't, we don't endorse it. We didn't allow it. we went in using best practices to allow people to have a peaceful protest.
Right, no, for the de-escalation strategy.
That's best practice. Any other questions?
What's the plan now that night is falling?
So as I mentioned, we have the juvenile curfew for 14 and under. That's 9 p.m. We will be enforcing it. 14 to 17 is 10 p.m. We will be enforcing it tomorrow. There will be a citywide curfew, as I said, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. Let me be clear. What that means is if you are not, if you are on the streets, it will be for 2 reasons.
Any updates on the police officers who were injured? 7 were injured. 1 was unconscious. Do we have that?
Kowalczyk, do you have the? We know
right now it's 15 officers.
Okay, go ahead.
So, unfortunately, at this point, 15 police officers were injured. Of the 15, 2 are still being hospitalized at this moment. The others have been released, minor injuries at this point.
Did you know how those officers were injured, the 2 hospitalized? How were they injured?
So what we know right now, just preliminarily, is that objects, bricks, bottles, I'm not sure exactly specifically what it was, but it was flying debris that caused their injuries.
Did they have helmets on? Did they get his head?
Some did, some did not.
Do we know how many groups there are or how large how many people are involved?
In terms of a number, I can't really tell you. I can tell you earlier part of the day around dismissal time.
So I'm really disturbed to hear this black female mayor. And if you notice, they replaced Eric Holder, who was the Attorney General, who, I'm going to just be 100% honest. I know a lot of people didn't like Eric Holder, and I don't like any of these politicians, but I got to admit, I never found anything to not like Eric Holder about. As much as I tried to hate all of them, I never found anything not to like the brother about. Nothing definitive. He seemed to be a genuine black man. I mean, I can't say that for certain. I'm not certain. I'm not expert at politicians. But I just never found any definitive thing to not like Eric Holder about. But he's gone, and they have a new black female in office. And my suspicion, because she was a prosecutor, and from what I understand, very pro-police. Now they have this female in Baltimore, and from what I've heard when I was up in Baltimore yesterday, she's a hand-picked, appointed girl of the small hats. That's what my people in Baltimore tell me. That she might be worse than Kurt Schmoke. If y'all know anything about Schmoke, he was a hat boy. So they saying she's a straight-up hat girl, straight up do whatever the small hats who run Baltimore, and that's who runs Baltimore, tell them to do, and that she's not going to be favorable to do anything about things happening to black men in that city. I don't know if she's married or not. I don't know if she has. I doubt it. She has a black husband, but I don't know that. She might. I really have no idea. I don't know enough about her to say that. But suffice it to say, I don't get the sense that just looking at her and following her that I've seen so far, that she means us any good. So with that said, brothers and sisters, we want to find out if there's anybody in Baltimore in particular. If you can tell us what's going on the ground there. Matter of fact, if you from Baltimore, hit 1 so you can come in. I want to get y'all in early so that y'all can, you can come in here and tell us what's going on the ground so we can get a better feel for what's going on the ground. Because like I said, we went out there, but it was de-escalated yesterday because of the wake, and I didn't predict right. I thought they would have started tomorrow, so I was gonna be up there early, but they them young brothers and sisters went out there right after it was over. We said we promised we wouldn't do nothing during the wake of the funeral. Funeral over, let's get it in. And they out there making clear that they're not happy with what's going on. So with that said, come on in, tell us what you think. Are the police, did the Crips and Bloods just declare that they were going to stop hurting each other and they were going to unify to do something for the community? And are the police turning that into the words that make it look like they're a terrorist group? Or did the Bloods and Crips, which again, there's not a whole lot of them in Baltimore like they would be in LA or Jersey or someplace like that, did they really come together and actually go out in public and say, hey, we declare war on the police in Baltimore, or would they just have done whatever they were going to do? My honest opinion, if they were going to do something, they would just do it. They wouldn't go ahead and declare it as a war. I think the more likely thing is that they came together and the nation is pulling them together and they say, yo, we're going to have a truce and we're going to fight against this police brutality. And then the police took that, changed it to try to make it look like this union and this positive endeavor was something that was negative. So let me go to 0139. We're going to go on down the line and hear what you got to say, brothers and sisters. Come on here and make your contribution. And don't forget, we use no N-word on this station. And when you come in, you got to say, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. 0139, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Brother G, it's really disappointing what's going on and the death of the brother in Baltimore. You know, it's refreshing to see the people respond in a way that is, you know, that is not passive. I mean, time for the passivity is over. I mean, this escalation and police murders of our young men, you know, is beyond a compromise. You know, it's beyond us sitting down. I know the thing that we had to be careful of is what we see is they're interjecting these pseudo leaders, these leaders that are Sambos and Uncle Toms and you know, like you know, Jamal Bryant. You know, you see him now, and this group of 300 black men. You know, and you know, it bothers me in the sense that it's always our people who always kind of taking the energy of the movement and subverting it to you know, to their own, you know, kind of for their own profit, you know.
And let me just say something. I want you to keep going, but I do want to make one thing clear. Actually, the 300 men is not 300 black men. I actually found that out definitively from one of the members yesterday. So go ahead.
Great. Well, let me give you a quick personal story about how the police are actually ramping up their hostility toward black men. Me personally, I have a situation going on now that last week my son has been at the gym at LA Fitness, has been harassed by 3 police officers on the treadmill, getting off, told him that he needed to wipe down the treadmill. And he said he wiped down the treadmill, but he didn't wipe off the tread part. And they told him if he don't get up off the bike, spinning bike he was on, and go wipe down the treadmill, they was going to follow him home and kill him. So this happened on 3 separate occasions.
Now, let me stop. Wait a minute. Let me ask you now, were they white police officers, and what city was this in?
This was in Montgomery County, and it was 3 white police officers. They told my son they were police officers. At three different police officers at 3 separate occasions. The last incident happened last Wednesday. He was standing in the corner, kind of getting ready to get out the gym, and one older white police officer said, I'm gonna give you a message. This has come from the other 2 police officers in my group. They said, if you don't start wiping down your equipment, we're going to find out your car, and we're going to, follow you somewhere, and we're going to kill you. So my son picked up the phone and called me. I was on my way in from Manassas. I had a meeting out in Manassas. I'm on my way in. I said, stay there. I'll be right there. So I get there. The police are there. The member of the LA Fitness, the management is there. Police officer walked up to us, said, there's nothing we can do about it. So what do you want us to do about it? Are you mad because he called you out wiping off the equipment? We're not mad about that. We're mad that he threatened his life about some sweat. My son sweats a lot. That's whatever. They threatened his life. So I, after hearing from my wife I called talk to management, talk to the general manager, everyone. These guys know the situation has been ongoing. My son had just told me the last time he had got fed up with it. So I come, police there, they said there's nothing they can do about it. Here's how you write a report to get a protective order. So they didn't give LA Fitness didn't give my son the correct name, so he couldn't go get a protective order. So I told my son to show me who it was. Today, in the gym, he showed me one of the guys that threatened his life. So I approached him, and I said, in no uncertain terms, are you ever going to threaten my son again? If you got a problem with him or him sweating, you come get me. You know how they are. When they're by themselves, you confront them, they get all nervous.
Turns to little faggots that they are, right?
He got all nervous. Oh, sir, I didn't threaten him. My son said, you did threaten me. So I confronted him. I told him, well, sir, if you don't back up, I'll get my handcuffs and I'll lock you up and take you down. I said, you ain't gonna do shit. Excuse my language.
Go ahead.
And I had to give him the business because I'm like, everybody's watching. Nope, and I'm like, you're not going to threaten my son. This is my son. This is my.
How old is your son?
My son is 22 years old. He just graduated college in December from Chapel Hill, and I'm not going to let. Even if he was somebody who didn't go to college or whatever, he's my son. They're killing our black boys out here for no reason. No reason. I know, in my time coming up, I've been harassed by police officers all the time. I can remember my first experience, and I was 11 walking to basketball practice. Me and my buddy, PG cop just walked up to us. Where y'all going? What y'all doing? It's November, so it's dark at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. He throws us on the car, searches us out of here, or he gonna lock us up. We going to basketball practice. So I know how cops are. But I was trying to instill this in my son, that no matter how you think or how you want to be just human, you don't want to be a black man, you want to be recognized as human, you got to see yourself as the world sees you. And you got to act accordingly. You can't keep on walking around with this multicultural mind and all this other stuff because you went to a predominantly white school. You got to wake up, son. And the thing that shocked me the most is the 3 Mobutus who came up to me defending the white guys today. The 3 Mobutus walked up to me and said, bruh, just leave him alone. Don't say nothing, man. Come on, man. I'm trying to make sure you don't get in trouble. I said, why are you worrying about me getting in trouble? Why you ain't standing with me? You don't even know the situation. You had a son? He said, yeah, man, people threaten people all the time. I said, they not threatening my son. You ain't gonna threaten my son's life. Then the other Mobutu that one of the managers, he come up. After the white guy went back and told him that I approached him, he come up. Well, you can't be doing this. Well, you need to document it. He told me I gotta document it with 3 managers before they'll kick these guys out. So that means I have to document it 9 times that my son was harassed before they'll do something about it. And I said, what happens if they execute their threat before I can get to tell you? He said, well, I don't know. I understand that you're mad. You got a right to be mad. I said, that's the reason why I'm not going to wait on you to do nothing about it. I'm going to do it myself. And it's a sad thing. I'm tired, bruh. I'm tired. We gotta organize black people. We gotta come together. We can't keep letting this happen. This hurts my heart.
Where are you located at?
I'm in Montgomery County.
You live in Montgomery County?
Yeah, I live in Montgomery County. The LA Fitness is in the Gatelessburg LA Fitness. Now I don't talk to them. No one when I'm in there. I'm training my daughter. My son, he's working out. Which try to be peaceful people, man. But they not gonna let us be peaceful. They want a confrontation, and I can't run from it. It's not in my heart to do that.
Let me, bro, this is gonna sound so much unlike the Irritated Genie, but first of all, let me commend you for that. I love what you did, bro. That's what every black man, that's what he's supposed to have in his heart. I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm 100% on board with what you did. There's only one thing I got to say.
Okay.
Based on the climate that we're in now, and
yes.
it's not my normal standard response, but I believe, and I don't have proof, but I really believe that they've been given the go-ahead to kill black people. So that once they pick one, then if they set their mind on that one, then they'll go there. I'm not saying that if you go from one place to another place, it won't follow you, but I would suggest for your son at least. I feel like you're confident, you're not worried about you. But whatever reason, these 3 different crackers zeroed in on your son, probably because he's probably young, probably a handsome young brother. They probably realize he's going somewhere in life, and those are the ones that they want to stomp out. I would suggest, if you're going to let him go there, to me, I'd say send him to another one. Maybe go to Prince George's. But if not, I would say go with him. Not like you have to protect him, but they might. Well, let me just tell you this quick story so you understand where I'm coming from with this. When I lived over, right over in 8th Ward in D.C., Ward 8, and well, I always lived in Ward 8. Let me not say that, but I lived on a particular street over off South Capitol Street. There was a sister who was a police officer 2 doors down. But one night I came home and there was 2 devil pigs on the street, and I parked in front of my house and I was on my phone, and you know I had the phone through the system, so I'm sitting there talking to somebody on the phone. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to go in the house. Now I'm in front of my own house.
Right.
I'm talking, and the crackers look at me, and you know they got that old devil redneck West Virginia cracker look like, you know, like they want to just mess with somebody. So I'm talking on the phone, and he says, "Is there a problem?" So of course, now I'm a grown man. I'm looking at this dude. I'm like, "What? Is it a problem?" And so he said something else, and I was too angry. I couldn't even. I don't remember what happened, exactly what I said to him, but then I just rolled up the window, basically like, man, you better get the F out of here. Whatever I said to him, it was real clear to him that I wasn't listening to nothing he had to say. I stayed there for another half an hour, then I went in the house. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Tell you what happened, brother. The family, it was like July 4th weekend or one of them weekends, or Memorial, one of them weekends where everybody comes to celebrate, and their family was all over at the house. So the sister of the police officer, there was a sister that lived there. She came to me, the sister now, that don't live around there, and said, "Hey, heard you had a confrontation with police." I was like, "What? What you talking about?" "Yeah, them officers, you was having a conversation." I was like, "How did you know about that?" It wasn't nobody. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. She said that her sister came to her and told her that these crackers was in the department talking about, "Yeah, the guy that drives such and such and such, living on this street, yeah, we gonna deal with him." So They was plotting the whole thing out. Now understand, I forgot about the situation. And if it wasn't for the fact that her sister knew me personally and said, "Hey, he's a good friend of our family, leave that guy alone." And they said, "Oh, okay, cool." So the white boys backed off. Literally, bro, they were sitting there plotting my demise. I had no idea it was coming. I'm only saying that to say I know that's how it works because that particular circumstance. And I'm saying, your son, I don't like the way this is. I don't like what I'm hearing. 3 different crackers, and if one of them did it, you done dealt with that one. But the fact that you got multiple ones doing it, I don't like the way that sounds. I'm just gonna throw that out there for you. That's all I want to say.
I agree with you, bro. I mean, I'm right in line with what you're saying, and I agree. You know, and I had to, hustle my son out of there when I was leaving because he came in a little later than I came in. But I told him, you got to come on out of here. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up out of here before it get dark. You got to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because, it kept me up last week. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know, in their mentality, it's like you're saying, they're relentless when they zero in on somebody. They feel like they're weak. They feel like they're by themselves. They think he, probably didn't have a father or nobody else that cared about him. So they want to target him. And I don't know if they're real police officers, and it didn't make me no difference today because I wanted to let them know that this is my son and I'll kill for him. And you can do whatever you want to do, but you better believe that you're not going to take and keep harassing him without seeing me. So I'm gonna take your advice. I talk to him all the time. He don't really need to be at the gym. We love to work out. He loves to go to the gym. He loves to run. He just sweats a lot. But that was no reason for them to threaten the life, just like the young boy that lost his life in Baltimore. There was no reason for that. But they know the harassment. They know to keep harassing you, and it's a thing that they do to kind of justify their actions. And we got these black people that supporting them. Professor Griff said, man, the first 10,000 bullets going to be for our people, because them are the ones that's trading on us. I read through history all the time, and I see that the Mobutus are the ones that keep us oppressed, that keep us locked in that situation that we can't get out of. We can't really deal effectively with the real enemy because we got them kind of whispering in our ear and, kind of making things, go astray, and we can't keep our focus. We got to do something about them, too. We got to do it some way. I really appreciate you listening to me. I really, appreciate the advice, and I'm going to take you up on the advice. Man, I got to get with you. I've been this type of person, black to the bone forever, and hearing you and meeting you at Howard University has really kind of brought that fire out of me again. And I know that, I wanted to call you last week and tell you about it. I said, man, I wish I could have picked up the phone and just talked to you then, you know what I'm saying? So I need to be a part of a movement.
Was that you and your wife that I met there?
Yes, it was me and my wife. We met you at Howard University.
Do this.
And when you
send us an email, liberation@war on the horizon. I want to talk to you. I've been waiting to hear from you, brother.
Okay, all right, I will. I really appreciate the advice. I know you got plenty of other callers, and
yes,
and
stay strong, but we're gonna talk real soon. We're gonna talk soon. We're gonna put this thing together. We got a lot of soldiers in this area. We just got to be able to pull it together and unify and organize something that can work for our people, brother. So please send that email. Tell your wife. Look forward to talking to her soon, and we're going to talk soon.
Okay, brother. Thank you.
All right.
Take care, brother.
All right. Hotel. All right, brother. Hold on one moment. I got a call from a soldier in the street in St. Louis. Brother Young OG, how you doing, brother? Hold on one moment. Hold on 1 second. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to play this song real quick because I got a young brother from Ferguson on the line. And if the brother wants to call in, I got to give him the message real quick. So just hang on with me real quick, and I'm going to come right back to the lines, brothers and sisters. I'm going to play Mr. Mobutu one more time.
30-year-old Colonel Desire Mobutu has become the new strongman of this young republic with the support of the majority of the Congolese army.
Mobutu had in fact been a trusted ally of Lumumba, who had appointed him head of the army only a few weeks earlier. He now declared he had deposed the Prime Minister.
back on live, and I just got a call from a young brother out in Ferguson who was one of the main organizers of the Ferguson situation. Actually, I'm going to get him to call up because he's going to tell us some real interesting things from the battlefield in Ferguson. I was telling brothers and sisters a lot of the stuff that's been going on in the Ferguson situation, and I picked that call up because I thought it was like, I haven't talked to this brother in months, and just so happened he hits me up right now, so I was like, yo, it must be ordained or whatever, because we talking about this whole situation in Baltimore, and this is one of the young brothers that started the whole thing in Ferguson. So we wanted to get young OG on the line so y'all brothers and sisters can hear from him. So as soon as we see the call come through, I'm going to bring him on the air. Wait a minute, let me look. I got no number again. Give me one moment, brothers and sisters, so I can actually tell you. Let me see. All right, here we go. Let me bring the brother on. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Brother Young OG, how you doing, warrior?
How you doing? I changed it, man. It's King D. Seals now.
Say it again, it's what?
I said it's King D. Seals.
King D. Seals, all right. Can you give me a praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad?
Oh, man, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and what's the last one you say?
And long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Oh, long live the spirit of Khalid Abdul Muhammad. That's my guy, man.
Yes, sir.
And my personal hero, Malcolm X.
Yes, sir. Well, look, I just gave people just like a 1 minute briefing that a brother, we met when we came out down to St. Louis and was talking about the situation. Now, look, I want you to do me a favor because I never really. A lot of times people hear me say, I want you to tell them what we said when we came to, just tell them from your perspective, how we met and everything, what happened when we came out there. And then as one of the main organizers from the ground of the Ferguson movement, I want you to tell the people what is happening to the movement now and who took it over and how they did it.
Man. Well, how we met was, it's kind of like destiny because I was at the mall. I was getting ready to leave. You was coming in, and I actually was going to go a different direction, but I just so happened to walk past the Levi store, and you coming in. So I saw you. I said, man, irritated genius. I mean, you look like, and then I was like, I can't believe it's you. I can't believe you in town. And then we linked up. You came and you did a lecture. Fine. You came and you did a lecture, and you spoke on, about the effeminization of the black male. And, and how they infiltrating and taking over these movements. And then you warned me about how, how these punks are going to come in. Can I say that on radio?
Man, this is radio. You can say faggots if you want to. Yes, sir, you can.
Oh, yeah, how them faggots came in, it was going to infiltrate the whole thing. That's exactly what they did. They did it so cold, man. Like, I warned everybody. I told everybody, all the cats from the streets, all the political cats, all the different organizations, I told everybody, I said, when these fags come in, they coming in like wolves in sheep clothing. They only going to come to take over and change the message. Don't let them change the message. Matter of fact, keep them away from us. See, I'm from the streets. So they looking at me like, oh, he's the bad one. He's the, you know what I'm saying? Because, because the thing about Ferguson, man, like when you see it on TV, it was like a lot of politicians jumping in front of the cameras and all that. But really, that was the streets who did all that. It wasn't really them cats. It was like they just came and took credit for it. But really, it was the street dudes. And those the cats I was out there organizing and keeping out of trouble and talking to and spreading information with. So, so we were trying to basically make two different worlds come together. And we almost achieved that. But the problem was, fags came. They came with their computers. They came with their little college degrees and stuff. And what they did was they came in and started these GoFundMe accounts. So everybody's funding them because on Twitter you got a whole bunch of white conservative people who they don't want to hear from cats like me because I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna speak the raw, and I ain't gonna bite my tongue. So they love cats like them because they're gonna kiss their ass. They're gonna smooch. They're gonna say whatever they need to say to get that money from them. So all the money that's coming through Ferguson is coming straight to these faggots' accounts. So they out here dictate who gets what, where the money goes. They moving in. They faggot friends from Chicago, putting them in houses. While we got sisters and brothers down here that's homeless, that's in the streets with us every day. They're not helping them, and the whole thing. And then people start separating in groups, and then it was like a whole big divide and conquer tactic, and it worked so good because now me, I'm calling it out. I actually one of them named D-Ray McKinney. He's the main one. He came down here. When they first came, they wasn't telling nobody they was gay. They was all like just regular dudes. Nobody knew they was gay. Regular dudes. So while we out in the streets fighting, they on Twitter tweeting, not doing nothing. Just tweeting. So people from all over the world follow on their Twitter accounts thinking, oh, these guys are really there. They leaders. They do this on that. They ain't doing nothing. So by the time everything slowed down, these dudes, they following up to 50,000, 60,000. So now they dictating everything. You know what I'm saying? They like, oh, we don't need y'all no more. Now we calling the shots. You know what I'm saying? All the money coming to us. So when the money came in, they came out the closet like, yeah, we're gay, we LGTB, and all this and all that. I'm like, man, this wasn't even about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't rock with no fags. But if that's your business, that's your business. But don't come down here in my movement. My community, I live in a city where I live in a city where black people don't even stick together. All they do is kill each other every day. In the past 2 years, I went to 14 funerals. 2 weeks ago, I went to 3 funerals in 1 week. All my close friends. 3 funerals in 1 week. Where I'm from, black people don't stick together. That was the first time we ever came together. And them faggots messed it up, man. They messed the whole thing up.
Now I want you to tell me something because you blew me away when you told us, me and brother Che Black was there. And you told us what the climate was like after they first killed Mike Brown and all the brothers and Crips and Bloods came together and said, we're not killing each other no more. Tell us the environment, what it was like, the way you explained it.
Man, it was beautiful, man. I always tell people that's the only time in my life I ever felt free. For those first 2 weeks after Mike Brown died, I mean, when I was growing up, I was a Blood. I ain't a Blood no more, but growing up, I was a Blood. And I had these Crips I was beefing with. Cats I shot at, cats that shot at me. I mean, I'm out there with them side by side. And these cats, when I was 18, 19, I was shooting at. Now I'm 26, 27. They by my side fighting with me. You know, like brothers. You know what I'm saying? But that was a beautiful feeling, man. Like I never experienced. I'm talking about thousands and thousands, on type of thousands of people coming in, and there's no one fighting.
I want to hear this because, honest to God, I wish I had known you. We would have came out. I wish I could see this and have videoed this. You telling me that every weekend while y'all was organizing for Mike Brown, the Crips and the Bloods and all the brothers that used to fight was coming together in the same neighborhood. We talking about
not every weekend, bro. Every day. For the first month after Mike Brown died, you couldn't come on with Florissant without seeing 20,000, 10,000 people, Crips, Blood, Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords, whatever gang. And our city, it's not really it's Crips and Bloods here. It's on neighborhoods. It's East Side, it's the West Side, it's the JVL, it's the Blue Mars, it's Castle Point, it's Green Valley. You know, it's based on neighborhoods. Everybody out there together. I'm talking about slapping fires, stabbing them. You know, they smoking their little weed, they drinking, they hugging, they black power, walking around pumping their fists in the earth. It's like that dream that dream you have growing up, wishing this would happen. It actually happens. It's like live in the flesh. You come on West Florida and you seeing everybody. I mean, one day the police actually left. They said, I guess they figured if we leave, these Negroes gonna start killing each other, and we gonna show the world how the police presence is needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
They leave. It's on a Thursday night. I happen to get off work early. I come out there. Police leave. They ain't come out there the whole night. I'm talking about 20,000 strong. Not one fight, not one gunshot, not nothing. I'm talking about block parties. Everybody kicking it. I'm talking about like we was kids all over again, man. It was beautiful. I never experienced it. I don't know if I ever will again.
Man, bro, I'm telling you, I'm so. I wish I knew you before that. We would have been there. I can't even imagine having that opportunity to talk to our people and bring our people together and build something that we could hold it together. And you telling me that y'all holding on to that, and that the fags, through taking money and then taking over the movement, completely busted this whole black unity up?
Man, listen, they did it so man, it's so foul, man. I'm still bitter about it. I'm still mad about it. Every day I wake up mad about it, man.
So now, when I told you that was gonna happen, you saying you went back and you warned the brothers. I
warned everybody, but you know what they were saying? You know who they were listening to? They were listening to these old heads. No disrespect to the elders, but this ain't y'all time, man. The way y'all did it didn't work. It didn't work. That whole civil rights mentality, that whole we need everybody mentality. I told them, we don't need everybody. All we need is these soldiers and these streets to stick together. We don't need everybody. That's all we need is what we got right here. They want to be friendly. We love everybody. We need everybody. We can't go against the system without all these numbers of people. I said, we don't need all them, man. We already got what we need. Everybody that's coming now, they just coming for the ride. They just coming for the bandwagon. They coming for the media, and they coming for the money, man. These fags, all they did was come down here, sit on the sideline quietly, not say nothing to us, tweeting their ass off, right, cameras. You know, CNN, they love them type of cats, you know. So people from the outside looking in, they don't know what's going on here. So they send these same faggots on camera, on TV. So they sending them money, like, oh, this is the leader, this is the one helping the kids. Now those same people from out of town, a lot of those same outsiders are coming backpack. Like, wait a minute, these dudes took this money, they going on trips, they having gay sex. I'm talking about, man, it's all on Twitter, man. They having parties, drinking, you know what I'm saying, partying, all type of drag queen shit going on, man. Some freaky ass shit, man.
Because you told me that, and I want you to tell a story because people think I'm lying, that one day y'all were out there doing a peaceful protest in front of the police, and then a bunch of white college students came. Tell us what happened there.
Man, yeah, that day. All right. So we out there doing the protest. Everybody, you know, it's peace for everybody. You know, everybody, they chanting their chants, and, you know, the usual. So the white college kids come. And they kind of like standing in the mix, and they screaming and yelling like they really can do something. And they get to throwing bottles and throwing rocks and everything at the police. But then when the police rushes, fighting with the police, they run off. They run off to the side and let us take the fight. And the cameras, CNN, they zoom the camera in on us, so it looks like, oh, we agitating the police, we out here being, you know, aggressive. But they didn't even record the fact that the college kids were the ones who was throwing this shit. So we talked to them like, man, y'all gotta leave. Y'all can't keep on coming down here throwing shit to police and then running when it's time to go.
So they come down, instigate the problem, then leave y'all to clean it up, and then make the brothers and sisters look like that y'all are the ones that started. Man, so at any point in time while y'all were in y'all protesting mode, did y'all ever say, yo, we don't want no crackers down here. We want it to be all black. Not that we have no disrespect for Hispanics or nobody, but okay, go ahead.
I did, and they kept on. They always say, "You the crazy one." It's like they put me like you the Malcolm X, and it's like I feel like Malcolm X in a city full of Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like everyone has
even the brothers in the
civil mentality. Everyone here has that civil mentality that we need everybody, black, white, this, that, and the third, gay, straight. We all need to come together.
Even the brothers in the street think like that?
No, I mean, you know, the brothers in the streets, they know they're educated on this type of thing. They don't do the research and the studying I do. So they just, like, following whatever they see out there, you know, because, like, when they first kicked out the bus in the street, they wanted to go to war. They just wanted to fight. They wanted to kill, fight. What they had to do, burn down shit, steal, whatever. They was down for. But after that part faded, you know what I'm saying, once things cooled down and it became more about protesting, they were misled because they had no education on how this thing works, you know. So it's basically people just the blind following the blind. And you know, a lot of these cats come down with their state education and they smooth talk you so good. You thinking you following and doing the right thing, and they send you into a trap, and that's what happened. They actually, those homosexuals, what they did was they took a couple brothers that didn't have nothing. They were from the streets. They didn't have nothing. They getting all these. They getting $50,000 in donations, right? Buy a little cheap apartment. Put the brother in the apartment, right? Now he the cover guy. Now that's how to keep the front stuff. We got him in the apartment, and we helped him. So I go to the apartment to check up on it. I went to the apartment myself personally. I go to the apartment to see what's going on. The faggot living in there with the brother. So the brother on the air mattress, the faggot in the bed. He living in there with the faggot. The brother tells me, man, this dude making $5,000-$10,000 a week off Ferguson. I'm watching him do it on his computer online. He said I took his car to the store to buy some groceries. The car had $9,000 on it. He said, man, that was just from 1 week of getting donations. He said, man, ain't none of this stuff on my name. He said, once 6 months over, I gotta go. And all this stuff goes to him. That's why he's staying here monitoring everything. I said, man, so you just a front man. That's how they played it. And that's how they got all the money. They just used a bunch of people that didn't have nothing.
Bruh, I'm being honest. I knew the fags would take over, but I didn't know how they did it. I'm so angry. So you saying basically they use our people as a money-making tool.
Exactly.
Completely
Twitter, man. It's Twitter, man. Listen, Black Death is a business. This is what I found out, man. Because I didn't know how it was going to go down either. I'm just learning that, I'm educating myself, and I'm having to be lead man at the same time, so I'm learning as I'm going. So what it is, man, it's these hashtags, Black Lives Matter, man, that's bullshit, man. Black Lives Matter is them the ones that's doing it. People don't even know that. Black Lives Matter, they the ones who send these people. The dude D. Ray, Black Lives Matter, they sent him down here. They were started by some lesbians, man.
Right, and so then his name is DB?
D. Ray, D-E-R-A-Y.
D. Ray, and he's a homo.
Homo. Go on Twitter right now and follow him. Go look at him. About 60,000 followers. He's listen, it's the crazy part. He's from Baltimore. This the crazy part. Look, he's from Baltimore. He's been hollering Ferguson, got everybody thinking he's from Ferguson, right? Now that the Ferguson thing acquired down, he went back to Baltimore, and the Baltimore boys ran him up out of there. So he on Twitter just got everybody's food. I'm talking about they giving him awards and all type of stuff. Talking about he's the new civil rights leader. I'm like, what the?
Now, one more thing I want to talk about. I don't know if you would talk about this or not. And there's no problem if you don't, because we hadn't talked about it, because this is just a spontaneous call. But look, tell the people. I want people to understand this. Look, brother, since I haven't talked to the brother in months, he just spontaneously called me. Matter of fact, what made you call at this particular time?
Man, for real, I just need somebody older to give me some advice, man, because there's just a lot of pressure on me. Like, everybody like, man, what we gonna do? I'm saying, let me call my big dog and just get a little bit of advice from him, because, man, it's crazy, man. And then I don't want people to get back out there with those same people and fall into the same trap again,
Gotcha,
so I just want some advice on what would your advice be on going forward?
All right, well, I'm going to holler at you when we get off the program. I'm going to holler at you, but let me go to this. I want to do this one last question, and then I'm going to call you back after the program. But no, what's too late for you? Because I know you got to work tomorrow.
No, I got. I work third shift now, so I work overnight. But my job, I have a new job. I'm like management now, so I can use my earphones. So I can talk all night now.
Okay, good. All right, so let me ask you this. And you might not be at the liberty to talk about this, but what about, because when I came in there, I didn't know that you was in a rap group, and I had mentioned something about something I had found out about somebody that was promoting homosexuality. You remember what I'm talking about?
You talking about that song self-poem made about Jay Nixon?
Yeah.
Man.
The people here don't know what happened. Tell how that happened and how he ended up doing. He was with y'all, but he ended up going to the UN. But he made a song promoting the gay stuff.
Yeah. What happened was, man, he was with us. Rock. This is more of a backstory on the rap scene that you don't know about. Like, I made a group called DOA, stands for Dimension of Ascension. And this is more like a new version of like the Outlaws, like Tupac's Outlaws. Well, actually, we did a video with Young Number from the Outlaws. But basically, the idea was to make a group of all the best MCs from St. Louis. It's like, lyrical and street with a little bit of consciousness to him too. Bring them all together, and we was going, spit about what's going on, because we got tired of everybody making songs about Mike Brown, but one of them down here with us. So we like, man, we're going to make our own songs about it and let the world know the truth, because all these rappers, they just trying to benefit from it. We really trying to tell the real story. So he was saying he was down with it. He was going to get on the song. Just can't tell him to make the song. He wouldn't answer his phone. I'm like, all right, man, we're going to do it without him. And then Young Noble from the Outlaws, he ended up hearing it from somebody out of town, the pre-version we had. And then he liked it. He jumped on it. He took Tough Poe's spot. We did the video and everything. Tough Poe, he's like, oh, man, that's a hard song. What's what I got on it? Then he made the song about Jay Nixon. And then he promoting the transgender women and all this and all that. And I'm like, whoa, man, what's up with that? I asked him about that, man. He couldn't even answer me. I asked him. I said, man, bro.
And did you ask him before we played it, or did you ask him, or you had found out?
No, after. I didn't even know about it until you played it. I had never heard the song. I had never heard the song until you played it. I told him about you. I said, man, somebody I really look up to and respect, he came and played me a song with you. And we ain't feeling it. I'm like, man, we ain't feeling it, bro. Like, man, you a cool dude and all that, but I ain't feeling it, bro. That ain't the message, bro. I don't even know what you want. And he was just, like, talking about how his fan base so diverse, and he has to, he got to speak out for everybody, not just oppress black people, but oppress gay people, oppress white people, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, man, you want other shit. And ever since then, me and him really ain't been speaking. That's why you don't see us in pictures together no more. You don't see us. We ain't tight how it used to be. Like, that kind of like divided us. That kind of divided us a little bit. I'm like, man, you go ahead and do that. But he went to the UN, and this how they used him. They used him too. And actually, one of the texts that was in the group with me on Born Targets, he ended up going on Tough Post side and going on, and then he dressing weird and acting weird, and they all with the little gay crowd and the weird crowd. They all rocking, and me and my guys, we still doing our thing.
So the guys who decided that they want to stay committed and black and stay on the real mission, like you, I think your brother, they stayed with you. None of y'all got paid to go to the UN in Geneva, give testimony.
This is what I found out. Now this is what I just found out from one of the guys on Baby Moms told me this. He say, dude who left my group and joined with Tough Poe, been getting paid $4 or $5 grand a month from all this Mike Brown stuff. Now I ain't like, listen, I've been matter of fact, before any of them came out there, I was there with his mom, and I've been one of the only ones dedicated to the movement from day one to what we are today. And I'm the only one that actually lived in Ferguson, and I ain't got a single red penny off Mike Brown. Everybody else getting money. That's what happened. That's how I was wondering, like, man, why everybody still switching up? Why people ain't coming to the streets no more? I mean, they going on flights. They flying to New York. They flying to the UN. They flying to Washington. They having meetings with Obama. I'm like, man, what's going on, man? They having meetings with Obama and all this stuff. Like, man, what's going on? Then they come back and they ain't speaking no more. They speaking, but it's kind of like distant. It's like, what's up? They bragging on what they did, but they ain't really coming back with no information. This is what happened. This is what we gonna do. None of that. It was like, oh, I'm important now. I'm the man now. I don't need y'all no more. You know what I'm saying?
And they dressing funny, gay, Willie Dilly type of Kanye West style.
They dressing all weird now, man. It's crazy, man. I was like, y'all supposed to be street dudes. Y'all supposed to be gangsters. Y'all supposed to be from the hood, from the block, claiming these Crips and Bloods and all that. But y'all coming back looking like skateboarders, looking like these white boys. But what I found out was they was getting paid. But what they don't realize is the people like this dude named Soros, he a millionaire. So he spent like $30 million down here in Ferguson just to divide the content. What I found out is the people who was paying them, they making millions. Just giving them a couple thousand and sending them on trips. And since these Negroes have never been nowhere, they so happy just to take trips and take pictures and look like they doing something important. And they started a little record label and all that. Tough Poe started their more records. But he ain't got some money behind this for his own record label. So they used him to take the energy from the movement. And when that happened, everybody started being mad. Like, man, why they going on trips? Why they going everywhere? The problem here in Ferguson, why everybody leaving? Everybody wanted to fly to New York and jump on the going up bandwagon. So everybody down here mad. And then with the faggots, plus before you know it, we went from one movement to 30 different groups, and everybody fighting each other. That's why the last time when the boy supposedly shot the 2 cops, that day it all kicked off because when I pulled up, what happened was everybody out there protesting peacefully. When I pulled up, I seen the faggot out there. So I come to him, I said, man, first I see Mike Brown's father. He in a truck, he laid back. I walk up to him, like, what's up, MB? He's like, what's up? I said, man, this dude D-Ray, man, this dude been, this faggot, he been raising a lot of money off your dead son. But we don't even know him. He ain't from her. He's like, man, I've been hearing about this dude. He said, but I can't do nothing to him. He said, because it's going to blow up. And you saw what Leslie already did, that she got it hot. I said, don't worry about it. I got this. So I walk up to him. I said, hey, yo, what's up, man? You ain't from Ferguson, is you? He's like, no. I said, man, why you putting money in your pocket off Mike Brown name? He started smiling. He laughed at me, chuckled. I smacked him. When I smacked him, he kind of fell. So then all fights just broke out. Everybody just got to fight. You know what I'm saying? The people who had already had tension with the cats pouring them, going out of town, cats started fighting them. So you look on CNN, you see everybody fighting. And before you know it, the shots ring off. And that's how that kicked off. People don't even know that story, but that's how that kicked off. Even though, that's how that kicked off.
Oh, so basically, you out there trying to say we trying to keep this thing truly committed to the real purpose, and you basically not getting enough support about what's going on.
Yes, that's what it is, man. I ain't getting the support I'm supposed to get because I'm keeping the message what it's supposed to be. And I'm the only one that's standing on it. It's actually being vocal. Don't get me wrong. It's people out here on it. I'm the only one being vocal about it. So I'm out there checking everybody, like, what's going on? Like, why y'all changing the message? Why y'all putting money in y'all pocket? And everything exploded.
Man, so see, nobody knew that. See, I just thought it was some random shooting or so I ain't know. So basically, you out there.
Man.
Just.
Ain't nothing random. Random. It's all true. What happened was, man, we had took so much time from being out there because if you look at prior to that day, there wasn't no protest for a little while. So things were just building up, tension was building up, because everyone, like I said, tough going on there, they flying to the UN, they flying to New York, they put money in their pocket, they popping up with record labels, and everybody in the streets like, wait a minute, I've been protesting for 6, 7, 8 months, and I don't got $1. I'm out here hurting, and y'all using what we doing to put money in y'all pocket instead of putting all this money together and bring something back to the community. I wanted to start a youth development center, similar to like what Umar Johnson was doing with the Marcus Garvey Academy thing. I kind of want to do a small little version of that in St. Louis. Like, let's get a building, and educate. I was going to show your documentaries. I was going to show the hidden colors. I was going to teach them about Marcus Garvey, Sweet Pea Newton, Malcolm X, all the cats that don't teach you at school. Because my little brother, he's 13. I said, my little brother, to ask his teacher about Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, Huey Newton, and Malcolm X. His teacher tells him, oh, you're going to look that up on the internet. He said, my little brother told me, the only thing they teach me at school about black history is Rosa Parks and Malcolm and Martin Luther King. So I told him about Garvey. So now my little brother's a straight A student. For the first time in his life, 13 years, my little brother became a straight A student this year. So I've been on him so hard. The school's not teaching them that. So I wanted to start a building, a place where we could teach the kids that ourselves, that we could prepare them for reality. Because the school, they ain't nothing but deaf institutions. That's all that is. But we couldn't do that because everybody taking the money and putting it in their pocket. They want to use it for rap money and go on trips and shopping and buying Jordans and stuff. I'm like, man, it ain't even about that, man. Everything I got from my own money. I'm going to work, man. I'm not going to use no protest or no Mike Brown and put it in my own pocket, man.
Well, look, let me do this because we got a lot more callers. First, I want to thank you, bro. I'm telling you right now, the people that's listening, it's like their ears exploding because this is the real story about what really happens on the ground that you never hear unless you talk to the real people on the ground. And usually, like you said, the real people on the ground, nobody reaches out to them to give them a forum. So, bro, you always welcome to call in here. And also, anytime you can work it out to get us an audience, man, we would love to come right to the people. Somewhere we can do what we did when we was there, but we can do it right in the hood, man. We'll come anytime, day or night, come right to the people and say, yo, this is what's going on. This is our suggestion what you could do, any guidance or support that we can give with education or whatever, man. We would love to get right down there with our brothers and sisters, you know, make that happen, bro. We there, man.
I got you, man. Things getting fired up again, and people ready to hit the streets again. So it's definitely something we can do because people. We in a state where people like, okay, we see everything that we did prior to this, and it didn't work. Now people like, what we gonna do now? So it's definitely a good time where we can set something up like that.
All right, man. Well, let me know. Stay in touch with us, man. Don't be a stranger. We love you, brother. Be safe out there.
Love you too, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the time, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back either tonight or tomorrow so that we can chop it up about, you know, how to move on from here, okay?
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Brothers and sisters, if that was not one of the, that's what they call a pleasant surprise, man. That young brother there, he's actually one of the first people that said when the brother was murdered, our brother Mike Brown was murdered. This young brother right here was the one that said, "Hey, we're not gonna let this die." Miss Brown and went to Mike Brown mom and said, "We're not gonna let this die," and actually worked with all of the other young brothers that was out there, and they said, "We're gonna keep this thing going." So he was there from the very beginning. When you look at the verdict was called, and it was a brother standing next to the mother. That's the brother that you saw right there, down there, serious, on the ground. And it's the weirdest thing. Like, he doesn't listen to the station, so he just called while I was on the, you know, I never take calls when I'm on the line. But when I saw that, I said, man, let me see if I can talk this brother to come in and talk. Because I think we see what's going on in Baltimore, but we also need to hear from the soldiers on the ground that's doing the work, to hear how this thing happened. So now what we can expect if we listen to what our brother just said. And I'm here, so I'm not here, but I'm close enough. We're going to make our way there. We got to wrestle this movement from the fags. Because the fags are turning this thing, you heard them, the whites coming out there throwing bottles at police, making it look like we violent. I wish I'd have had them still on because I'd have asked them about the fact the whites was burning down the black businesses in Ferguson. It wasn't the black people. The whites. Small hats coming in there talking about anonymous hats. You know, hats always like to be anonymous. And they burning down the black businesses. And then the brothers get blamed for burning down their own neighborhoods, which is not the real truth of the story all the time. So I'm going to go back to the phone lines, but I'm glad the brother called. I really think that was important. Let me see if there's anything on CNN right now that need to be, if there's anything I need to come back to
about it, and I believe I can hear some fire engines far in the distance, but I'm not sure exactly where it is from us.
Okay, so we're looking now.
We're on West North.
So yeah, they got some building that's burning, and I mean burn, baby, burn. What's my brother H. Rap's name? I forget his name. Let me do this, brother, since I got to go to a quick commercial break. My wife on here. And then we're going to come right back, and I'm going to run through these phone lines and let you come in here and say what you got to say. Praise Nat Turner, glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad, baby.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad. Abibifahodie Black family, thank you for listening to the Warren Horizon program. If you'd like to call in to tonight's program, you can dial 347-850-1836. And Black family, we got the announcements correct tonight. Last week we had a little technical difficulties, but tonight we got everything right, so hopefully you have your pen and paper ready. Black family, on Saturday, May 9th, Baba Ashfa and Mary Rakwesi, the Grand Master Teachers, will be at the House of Consciousness, located at 633 West 35th Street in Norfolk, Virginia. This event is sponsored by the House of Consciousness, the Straight Black Pride Movement, and Warren Horizon. Again, Baba and Mama Kwesi on Saturday, May 9th, doors open at 2 p.m. Baba Kwesi is going to be talking about African spiritual mystery systems and the origins of Western civilization. Mama Kwesi will be talking about sisters and the struggle. Tickets are available now. For more information, you can call 757-314-1943. Again, 757-314-1943. This is a great event celebrating the Mother's Day weekend, a wonderful event to bring your mother and the whole family out to Black family. Also, in June, Saturday, June 13th, Chi-Town. War on the Horizon hit Chi-Town for the first time. It will be at the Cultural Connection 360. Again, that's Cultural Connection 360. The address is 400 West 71st Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60621. Yours truly, Irritated Jeannie, will be coming in talking about straight black pride. Time to organize, unify, build, and fight. The cost to attend will be $13. And for more information, you can call 708-248-4376. This is sponsored by the African Unification Group, their chapter in Chicago. Again, that's Saturday, June 13th. Doors open at 4 p.m. Irritated Jeannie will be at Cultural Connection, 360 degrees. The address is 400 West 71st Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60621. For more information, call the African Unification Group at 708-248-4376. Black family, if you'd like to bring the Irritated Jeannie to your city or your town or even to your private group, give us a call at 202-309-9106. You can also call or email us at liberation@waronthehorizon.com. Give us a call or email us, and we'll be happy to work with you to set something up. And if you missed any of the announcements today, you can also call that number to get more details on the different events, those events as well as others that will be coming up soon this summer. Also, Black family, I'd like to let you know that we are asking for anyone in the listening audience, no matter where you are, if you're black, you're straight, and you're proud, if you're anywhere listening to the radio program in the world, we're calling for WOA reporters, War on the Horizon reporters. We're asking that you have a video camera or some sort of maybe smartphone with a decent video camera on it, where you can go out in your town and your country and video and take video reports on what's going on. That way, we'll be able to get the videos back to us, and we'll upload them in a centralized location where we can share around the world in an instant what's going on with our black family. So if you're interested in being a WOA reporter, no matter where you are in the country, in the U.S., or in the world, again, give us a call, 202-309-9106, or email us at liberation@waronthehorizon.com. Thank you for listening, Black family. And again, if you'd like to call in for tonight's program, just dial 347-850-1836. Straight Black Pride, Abibifahodie.
Abibifahodie, grab heaters with no delay. That's my wife. Can't have her. Sorry. Let me go back to my phone lines, 8284. Let me go on 0572-8918, 0961-3103 at 8843. We got to kind of speed it up tonight because we had a special guest that I had to get in here, and man, I really appreciate that brother coming in here. I really enjoy that. Man, I'm looking at this fire. Whoa, this thing is burning. Let me just go right back to this real quick, and I'm going to come to the phone line.
We continue to watch these images from the corner of Chester and Gay Street. This, according to Mark Puente, a new senior center that had been built by the Baptist Church in that neighborhood. It was a multi-story, newly constructed building in East Baltimore.
Oh, and I hear that stuff. If there was a senior center and there was black people in that senior center newly constructed, I very seriously doubt that black people burned it down. You know how these white folks are. They burn this stuff down all the time. Now, if it was made for some white folks in the black neighborhood, then maybe it did get burned down with some brothers and sisters. But I don't know if I believe that. Let me go to 8284. Praise Nat Turner, glory to God, long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Black, the blue black, purple black, burgundy black, gold black. What y'all know? What y'all know, man? Hello?
Praise Nat Turner, glory to God, long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's happening?
Oh. Yeah. Praise Nat Turner, glory to God, long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, brother.
Turner, glory to God, long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad with the AK.
Yes, sir.
What's
yes,
up,
sir.
King?
Now, I'm doing good, man. And come in for me and give me something quick, because I don't know if you've been listening, but we was talking to the brother from Ferguson, so we kind of ran on our time. But give me a question or comment, bring it on to us, brother. You right there in Baltimore, right?
Yeah, right up the street, man, from all of this stuff, man. I'm on Quince Falls.
Tell me what's going on, man. Tell us what's going on in the street, man.
It's chaos, brother, and I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna tell you this is real. The young people is really out here, doing this. Now you got some egghead Negroes out here that's trying to make some other situation of this thing, and basically it's like this, and it's going down like this. So for anybody out here across the country listening, I'm gonna tell you like this: martial law is here, yo. We got a curfew already, and everybody has to be in that by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning till 5 a.m. And if the only reason why you be outside is if you're going to work or you got an emergency. If not, you're going. They send you downtown, man. Bookings. And this is how it's going down. And I don't know how long. She did say this is a thing that's going to be for 10 days or whatever. She pretty much just said it's going to be starting tomorrow. So I'm not sure if this is going to last through the summertime. I'm not sure if this is going to if this lasting all year or what. They're not making any real definitive. They're not giving any definitions to this. So we're pretty much in the, as they calling it, state of emergency. They're calling it this on the TV. And martial law, curfew, everybody has to be in at 10 p.m. tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you, it's sad because people's, a lot of the stores, they looted the stores, man, and the lady said, I come here to get my groceries and I can't do it, thing, and, that's about it, the sad part about it. And others, people who don't have anything to do with it, their cars vandalized, homes are vandalized. So, it's good and then it's bad. It's really bad now because we got curfew and they're still looting. They still looting stores. And that's another thing. To be not mistaken, brother, about what's going on, because a lot of these jokers out here really don't have anything to do with nothing but what they can get out of something. You understand? So you got a lot of chaos, a lot of brothers trying to get it together, and a lot of brothers that's really, just in the mix, and really like.
So let me see if I can get what you're saying. You're saying some people are genuine and they rebelling, and there's some people just opportunists that's out there just being typical Negroes.
Brother, I'm telling you, listen, it's not like you can look at it. You can look at it like any way you want. When you come down and think, oh yeah, this and that, they ain't hearing you. Only a few people, that's in the mix. They hear, they hear you, they feel you, they nod their heads. The rest of them, man, they gone crazy. They done kicked cars, burnt they set the cars on fire, and they took the hose, right, the fireman's hose, and put the hose in it. They cut the hose in the fire hose. Trying to put out the fire, they cut the hose up. Yeah. So yeah. It's not like what you think it is. It's a little, it needs more organization, and we don't need Mobutu Negroes to be down, and we really don't need that kind of thing, because that's only going to make it. That's only going to bring the faggots out, which I'm already. And Al Sharpton is on his way. He already said it. I saw him. He's coming. So I'm just letting everybody know. How they're getting down here in Baltimore. Pretty much like that, brother.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you giving us that thing from the ground. Now, where you are, can you smell that big fire that's going on, or that's too far from where you at?
Oh no, that's this man. It's a few blocks away from my house, but I think that's CVS that they looted.
This the new senior home on Gay and something else, something in Gay Street.
A senior home? Okay. All right, so that's down, that's further down. That's further down, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they got that thing blazing. It's complete. Was that for blacks?
Oh, really?
Was that for black people or white?
I'm not sure. I mean, because downtown they got a lot of they built them homes for them crackers. them doctors and things, and they took Murphy Homes. They tore it down, tore Murphy Homes down, moved them out, and built them homes, $100,000 homes for them crackers. So it could be for them, but I mean, I'm not sure. I gotta look more into it. But you know, this is the kind of stuff that, you know, we don't need this, because martial law. I'm telling you, look, we got a curfew at 10 o'clock. So, you know, already, and they were talking, and the governor is talking about bringing more 5,000 more police, 5,000. So they're getting PG County, they're getting Howard County, they're getting Pennsylvania. They're calling for the guards. You understand? So, you know, this thing here was really done by the high school kids. They came out of high school, they walked out, and then as soon as they walked out, you know, they pretty much just went to work, man. You know, it's sad because, you know, it could have been a lot better, you know, and structures and properties would have been, you know, we could have got a lot more done. Not in a peaceful way. I'm not really about that, but if you're going to do that, then do it aggressively, peacefully. You understand what I'm saying? You be aggressive, but be peaceful with it, or at least don't be so physically aggressive. That's what I mean. But they didn't do that, and now we got it this way.
All right, bro. Well, I definitely appreciate the call and keeping us knowing what's going on the ground. And you stay safe out there, all right, brother?
Yes, sir. Hey, right, straight Black Pride, brother.
Straight Black Pride, brother. Always calling in, keeping us informed from B-More, letting us know what's going down. He said it's blazing hot out there. 0572, praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad.
Praising Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. Peace, Jenny.
How you doing, brother?
Oh, man. I'm trying to hold in here, man. I am, man. This is really angering me because, man, these white supremacists, they know it's a few cities where black people still got some sort of pride, and they still will revolt because they're in massive poverty. And those places are like B-More, Chicago, Detroit, L.A., and all those cities where they put all the black people at, man, they still got some revolution in their soul. So that's what's really going on in B-More, you know. But it's like, you know, like your show last week was talking about how these white supremacists can't really orchestrate all this, you know, and then they pay, you know, the homosexuals to come in, man. So I'm just thoroughly depressed, man. I'm just mad about all this. I don't know what to do, man. You know, it's like, you know, man, it's like they're forcing us into a corner, and it's like, man, you know, man, I am really at the point where it's like, man, because we always ask ourselves, what did our ancestors do in the 60s, you know, or what did black people do when they first met them first Europeans that took them into slavery? And it's like, I feel like I'm in that situation, and I don't even know what to do, man. So, you know, kind of depressed and mad about that, you know, and I'm just trying to figure out what difference can I make without, you know, because, you know, it's like everybody want to get some skin in the game, but then it's like, you know, man, you know, me personally, I know I'm nervous because, you know, I work for these white supremacists, and then, you know, man, I don't want to get fired and not be able to feed my family, man. So it's like, you know, man, I'm just sitting here thinking about some solutions, man, you know, because
now, let me
it's
ask
really
you
making me angry.
Are you in the Baltimore area?
Well, I'm in PG, but, you know, I got family in Baltimore.
Well, let me tell you this, because I hate to say this, but I know what to do, and I knew this would happen. What happens is, and I hate to say this, but it's real talk, our people don't get where you are right now until our backs get against the wall. The reason we created the Straight Black Pride movement, and we are doing it in August, is because I studied the Garvey movement, and what happened was this. When Brother Garvey, the reason he was able to start that organization was because at the time he started it, if you look at the lynchings and the murders and the terrorism that was going on in America in 1919, 1920, as they were killing black people all throughout this country, our people got awakened because they had to. And that was the time we were able to galvanize the energy where black people said we got to do for self, and he was able to do what he did. Right now, the way you feel, finally people can hear what we've been saying for years. But we're not mad at people because sometimes our people don't get it when they need, when we can do something proactive. But that's okay. That's why we've been preparing and giving people the information and telling people this is coming. This is going to happen, then this is going to happen, and this is what they're doing, so that finally when our people can't ignore it no more, then they say, okay, we see you, we know what's going to happen. Then they do what you're saying now. I don't know what to do. Hang in here with War on the Horizon. Stay close in tune with this straight black pride. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making up nothing. I know what to do. I know how to get us where we need to go. I wouldn't make that up. All we got to do, don't get depressed. Keep going the direction you're going, and don't veer off and go too wrong in the wrong direction. Make sure that you're armed. Make sure that you have all the ammunition that you need. But most of what we're going to do is not necessarily going to be that. You're going to need that, but you might not have to use it if we organize and put ourselves in an appropriate position fast enough. So hang on with us, brother. We're not unaware of what's happening, why it's happening, and when it's happening. That's why I told people last week what's going to be coming as of August. Now I need people to start getting ready to pull in so that we don't have to worry about when this thing collapses. We'll be organized in a way to defend our own interests. I know we'll be going. I need y'all to come with us, right?
Yeah, man. Man, I just wanted to share one more story, man. When I had got out of the military, man, I had served in the infantry, and it's like, man, I had asked my sergeant, this white guy, I was like, man, so what jobs can I apply for? And then he was like, man, the only job you can legally kill a person is, if you go and be a cop. And I was like, damn, I ain't think of it like that. But he was like, yeah, man, if you go to the hood, there's plenty of action out there. So, man, a lot of these cops that I know that I used to serve with in the military, man, they all about going to get some action because we got a lot of action in Iraq and all these places where we went, and then it's like they come back for that same drive, man, that same adrenaline when you run inside one of these buildings, man, that's the same adrenaline they get when they kick in a dope house or something like that, man. So, man, I just hope things get better, but it's like I'm getting real angry about this, and it's like, I'm listening to you and I'm listening to all these conscious brothers, and I'm like, man, man, we got to do something because this is like, man, this is making us look weak as black men, and I'm just, man, man, this is making me mad, Gene. But all right, man.
All right, and I'm going to leave you with this, brother. That's what I'm saying. You was in infantry. That's what I needed to hear. They got in to get some action. I need you to sharpen your tool because we're going to be getting some action soon. I'll be talking to you. All right, soldier? All right, brothers and sisters. I've been telling you it's coming, man. It's coming. I don't want nobody to get nervous now. Look, as men, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for our opportunity with our people back against the wall, and now everybody gets to show what they got. Everybody talking all tough. Now, when it's time to get in the grind, we're going to see who's who. We're going to see who disappeared, who don't got nothing to say, or who going to walk the road. I'm going to tell you now, you done seen, I stay in the iron. This is what I was born for. I know people are unhappy because, things are nervous, and I'm a little nervous for our young people out there too, but I'm not sad. If this is what it takes for us to decide we're not going to get exterminated, we're going to fight back and we're going to come and organize, then it's what it takes. I have to take it however it comes. But listen, I'm telling you, you trying to figure out where to put your eggs, what basket to put them in, stick with the genie. I ain't gonna steer you wrong, and we ain't gonna lose this either. Let me go to the phone lines. 8918, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right, let's go 060961, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Straight Black Pride. How are you, Gene? I'm doing great. I'm listening to the brothers, and they're sounding depressed, and they want to know what to do. They just like I was saying last week, their backs are to the corner, all of us. are concerned about what's going on. And I'm from the 60s. I was a teenager during the 60s, and I remember the riots. I remember the bombings. And right now we're being intimidated, and these people are using the law to murder us. They're hiding behind the law to murder us. And my question, I don't know whether it's a solution, but we are law-abiding citizens. And my question to you is, do you know anything about citizen arrest?
I do. Let me do that if you don't mind, because I got a gazillion calls online. I think I know where you're going. I want to answer that question and go into kind of where that question is leading into. But I definitely want to let a lot of people get on that might have a question or comment. We got at least another 20 or 30 people that's online. So
well, address that. Please address the citizens arrest, because we can do that to the police. We can. And those straps that they sell in the hardware store, we can subdue them and have a citizen arrest. We can start arresting them and have the law on our side and make the law work for us.
All right. Well, thank you, sister. I want everybody to hear what this is saying. And this is just said something real heavy. She just dropped. What she's saying, brothers, is that essentially she's not saying exactly. Matter of fact, she's going to step past the Black Panthers. She's saying the Panthers showed us that we could monitor the police and that we could feed our own communities. We could do a lot of stuff. She's saying, all right, now the police are just outright killing black men, which makes them murderers. People have the right to arrest murderers. Well, in order to arrest murderers, you have to be organized to be able to go and subdue the murderers. Realistically, brothers and sisters, there are areas in this country where we can start doing that. Where if we are organized, if they had 2,000 brothers out there in Ferguson, then they get to say, yo, somebody out there can find out where this white boy lives, and they can say, let's go. Well, without any, nobody knowing it's going to happen, spontaneously, let's go. 300 brothers driving there, ride up on the house, bust it in, kick in the door because they're trying to look for a murderer. And then they go and get them. It's justice. I'm not saying that I'm advocating. I'm saying because he's a murderer and he's running wild and he murdered Mike Brown, if people did that, I could see that. Now, they would want to have, that's when we need everybody on board. That's when you need your attorneys. That's when you need a lot of stuff. But more than anything, what the sister's saying is something that I heard Amos Wilson say a long time ago. And the sister kind of tricked it out. That was really clever what she did. And this is exactly what I'm talking about when I said we got to start using language to create paradigms that work in our interest. You hear what the sister said? Amos Wilson said a long time ago, the people that's going to get us destroyed are these law-abiding black folks. Basically saying we always want to follow the rules, but the rules are made to keep us in check. And if we don't break their rules, then we're going to be destroyed. But what the sister's saying is we just use the law and interpret it in our own way so that it benefits us to give us the right to go do what we need to do anyway. And no matter how they change the law, we need to do it. Well, the reality of it is she's correct, which means ultimately it is not that we're following the law. It's that we have to create black law. And black law has to mean no matter how we do it, we have to be organized such that we can have adequate compensation when black lives are destroyed in the society. I mean, it's time to fight, brothers and sisters. It's time to fight, and the only way we can do that is what the brother said earlier. We got to go at these Mobutus. Before we go right at these crackers, these Mobutus who are the voices to defend white interests, we got to start really putting some pain on these race traders. So that's one of the first places we're going to start. But even before that, we got to start with some self-respect. Let me go to the phone lines. Okay, let me see. I had... they hung up. Let me see. I had 3103. Let me go to 6900. Praise Nat Turner. All right, they know. 7244. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise that turn and glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Abdul Khalid Muhammad. Hotel Peace, Abibifahodie. I just want to start off by basically just asking the question, because I was thinking about this the other day as we are examining this situation, and I'm going to talk about the police brutality, or basically the police treating us like, in situations with which we are inhumane. And even with this being a healing process, you and I could be strong, pro-black, pan-Africans all day, but we also know there is power in numbers. And as it relates to black people, I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go and to say I'm thankful for learning the African culture, and we do understand the wickedness of the damn beast. We understand this, and when we understand the relationship between predator and prey, he's always done what he's supposed to do. This is the people that I'm pissed off about. Is us as the Africans. We are the ones that have been in the system. We have been getting our ass kicked, and we still go out here and spend $1.1 trillion a year, brother. And I think until we start gutting out and getting down to these situations, until we get down to these situations, I feel like we got a lot of work to do.
And I agree with you 100%. And this is the thing. One sister saying, essentially what she's saying, we got to get organized to have a force that can go and do something about, we need men on the battlefield. So that's one. You saying we got to start using our money and spending it wisely, which is true, because economics controls actions and social behaviors. So it's absolutely true we have to do that. And other brothers and sisters will give more and more answers and solutions, which I think are great solutions and are very, very critical and important. What I want to ask you is this. Would you, or would anybody, what would a person do if their brother or sister is killed? If that person is brave and that person has self-respect, what are they going to do if their brother or sister is unrighteously murdered? What are they going to do?
I'm going to say this in response, brother. I'm going to use that in the soldier mentality, just as if we're all soldiers on the battlefield. And I guess it's knowing the importance of if we are going to win the war, win the battle. And even when we look at the brother Freddie Gray, I'm from South Carolina, we look at brother Walter Scott. This is the thing that I want to announce. There are a lot of brothers and sisters, babies, children, young girls, young boys that get killed, murdered, get raped every day. And these are not popularized by media. You understand? And I think our heart should go out to those brothers and sisters as well. And I feel like what we want to do, or what I want to do for that brother and that sister, is gain my momentum or gain our power so we can start making moves or calling shots inside these power structures. Because like right now, even with the same thing.
Let me do something. Okay. I'm asking a more specific question. So you're saying for your brother and sister, we should gain some power to do something to affect change. Now, what do we do for some N-word that got killed?
Okay. I think it's basically the same thing, brother, because I'm from the hood area where I had a lot of family that were, on drugs. And this is the reality. A lot of our brothers and sisters don't have the education on being anything better than the enemy.
No. You missing what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. If you look at that person, like you said, as a brother or sister, you're going to do one thing. My question to you, if you look at that person as an N-word, if that's what you think they are, realistically now, what you going to do to help them?
Well, like I said, I want to just help the situation because I know thing.
I'm asking you a direct question. Mm-hmm. I'm saying a direct question. If that person is your brother or sister, are you going to be inspired to try to do something to help them?
But see, that's what I'm saying. I look at some of the N-words as being my brothers and sisters as well. You understand?
Well, okay,
I understand what you're saying.
No, wait a minute. Okay, so if somebody you call an N-word is your brother and sister, then if they're an N-word, you must be an N-word too, right? Because if that's your brother and you part of the Williams family, he's a Williams, you a Williams. So if he's a black man, you a black man. So wait a minute. If he's an N, you an N, right? If your brother's an N, you an N. And then your mother and father had you, so only a black man and a black woman can have a black child. So if you're in, then you wasn't a black man and a black woman, because that would be a black child. Your mother and father's are N-words too, right? And the children that you have with your wife, them is little N's too, right? So all your people are N-words?
Well, no, like I said, going back again, brother, I just wanted to clarify this, because a lot of times what makes us an N-word is because we lack of the education, we lack of the knowledge.
Right.
You understand?
I'm at you going too far with it. Listen, I'm saying, because I'm hearing what you're saying. Basically, you're saying that you do see black people as N-words. This is my only point, because I'm gonna let it go. I got a lot of calls tomorrow. This is my point. If we see black people as N-words, the truth of it is we ain't gonna do nothing. The only time we're actually going to be able to even start anything economically, ain't nobody out there going to sacrifice nothing to give your money and support an N-word. If that's what you see them as, an N-word that owns that store, you're not going to consistently give no money there. You're not going to run in front of a police car and say, you're not going to kill my brothers, you're not going to kill my N. You're not going to do that. The reality of it is none of this is realistic. Before any of this stuff we talking about, ain't no group of dudes that think they some N-words gonna run up on no house with no devil that killed a brother and say, we are arresting you, a citizen's arrest. Ain't nobody that calls themselves an N-word or looks at other black people as N-words or ain't nobody that's in that mentality. The only people who have ever, wait a minute, I'm gonna let you speak. The only people who have ever gone out here and fought for our people, Garvey, the Panthers, you didn't hear Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale coming out talking like that. You didn't hear the Nation of Islam talking like that. You didn't hear nobody puts aside their differences for no N-words. Either we gonna be brothers and sisters, or we talking a bunch of garbage on this lady. I'm gonna let you have the last word, and I'm gonna go to my next call. Go ahead, brother.
Okay, absolutely, brother. And I'm with everything that you're saying, and that has been the problem. Like with a lot of our brothers and sisters embracing the Christianity culture and allowing their Savior, their God, to be, that in itself makes a lot of our brothers and sisters niggas or N-word. I'm sorry, but I said that to say that a lot of our people do need help, and that's why brothers and sisters that are conscious. In this form, we are the nucleus inside establishing everything, and then we are the ones to administer that back out so we can change the alchemy of those brothers and sisters. And we had the Bloods against the Crips. Hey, we could have a new day where we are the ones appointing those, and we can be joining those forces together. And then but right now we don't have any leaders. So like I said, I salute to you, salute to the icons we open up the show with, and as it relates to African spirituality, and let's get this work done, man. And hey, I'm ready for the work, brother.
Well, let's do it. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate it, brother. That brother ready to get it rolling and get it moving. I'm hoping people are hearing what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, brother and sister. There's no such thing as an N-word. There's no cracker that goes around calling no other cracker a cracker. There's no Asian that goes around calling another Asian a chink. They don't say, yeah, he is a chink. He's in the chink condition, though, because they don't do it. They're not that sick. We cannot be leaders and lead our people out of this condition, looking at them, which if we look at our brother or sister as an N-word, that means we're one too. And the only thing that can produce an N-word is two N-words, a male N-word and a female N-word, if N-words have gender. And the only thing that two N-words can have is N-word babies. And none of those things have any value. We either are that or we are not that. The answer is, if you're going to be a leader, which supposedly conscience is supposed to make you one, we're not that. We are Africans who are under siege by our white enemies, by these crackers, by these devils, by these demons that are trying to murder our people and are doing it. And not some little ends. The young brothers and sisters in Baltimore are angry. I say brothers and sisters. So we got to support the efforts to fight back, brothers and sisters. Let me go ahead. The sister just sent me something. Again, this Mobutu, this female that's the mayor of Baltimore, she's not a bitch. We wonder why our women are in this condition. We molest them, we abuse them, we call them bees all their life. Then they go behave like her, then we wonder why. We got to stop this. The problem that we are facing, we kill each other all day, every day. And then we get lucky if we get a situation like this where we actually realize, wow, our real enemy is white. But right when that's over, even during the course of it, some brothers and sisters calling, like when they out there fighting these crackers, you don't hear a whole bunch of N-words because it starts lowering because the more and more they start fighting these pigs, and now they're calling them names. You pig, you Uncle Tom, why you fighting with them? Our women are not bees. They're not, these are hoes. We got to stop this. We're doing the psychopathic, even I know because some people are saying this Mobutu, yes, she's a race traitor. I can live with that. Even if a race traitor is so bad that if someone commits racial treason and they're killed, anybody who's looking at that would say it was justice because racial treason, it demands the justice of death. I'm not saying that a race traitor should not get death because in the U.S., if you commit treason, the penalty is capitally punishable, is death. What I am saying, though, we got to stop the war against ourselves. Our war is with our enemies. Our young people are beginning to see it, but we got to rechannel this energy. We talking about doing all this stuff. What about the simple answer? First start. We're the leaders. We're African people. Let's start talking about what's happening with African people around the world. Let's start organizing on that behalf. Anything else we try to organize around is only confusion. We got to take tangible steps. Our first step is our identity. Wipe that word out of your vocabulary and out of your personality. If you see a black person like that, you are not going to sacrifice to save them because they have no value. We're the only race on the planet that is so sick that we use the terms that our enemy gives us to define us. Stop it. Called leadership, maturity. 2716, praise Nat Turner, glory to God, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul-Muhammad. How are you, Jeannie?
Hey, my sister, I'm great. Now I'm hearing from you. How you doing?
Great, thank you very much. You know what? Yeah, I just wanted to weigh in real quick on this and, just say that, of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what the beast can do and what the beast has done. But, just give my support for the young brothers and sisters out there in the streets who are actually fighting the cause physically, and just to weigh in even on, us more established people. We definitely need to be ready and willing to fight. We need to have arms ready to go because at some point we're going to have to protect our families. So we may be saying, I don't want to lose my family, XYZ, but the way I look at it is I imagine the worst possible scenario that these crackers could do if they were to come up in my house and hurt my children, and would I be willing, or not willing, but would I be able to protect them, or would I just sit there and be a victim? And we really need to take a look at that because this is the type of devil we're living amongst. We need to imagine the worst possible scenario and make sure that we're armed and we're ready so that we're not fools. Because if we don't look at history and learn from history, then we're the stupid ones at the end of the day.
Well said, sister. I think you said it all, short and succinct, and that's right to the point. We thank you, love you, and definitely see you on the battlefield.
Abibifahodie, brother.
Abibifahodie, the sister, see, that's when somebody feels the pain. That's a black woman who loves being an African. Brothers and sisters, listen to what I'm saying. I know we got to do. I just want you to hear, because people don't see the connection with things. The first step, we got to drop that word out of our vocabulary and get the conscious people that are teaching our people to stop saying it, stop seeing our people that way, to even stop identifying with anything related to it. Which will then, when we hear these crackers say it, will make it even more clear to us what we're dealing with. And number two, it's not the second thing, but one of the other things we got to do, those of us that are passionate like this, we got to move in closer proximity. We got to decide where we're going to go and mount our assault here. Yes, we got to open up communications and the ability to get back to other places, but people talking about running to Africa. What you running to Africa for? They killing more brothers and sisters on the continent than they are here now. This is a war. Ain't nowhere to run. You better get ready to fight. And fighting don't mean everybody not going to be shooting a gun. You need to know how, but everybody not. That's not going to be your job. Your job might be cooking. Your job might be teaching. Your job might be sewing. Your job might be planting food. But we need to live around each other. And each other don't mean nobody calling me no N-word. Each other means same, straight, black, proud Africans. I'm going to say it again. Straight, black, proud people need to move around each other. The faggots can't come. The pedophiles can't come. The crackers can't come. The Asiatics can't come. I ain't got no beef with Hispanics, but the Hispanics can't come. We gotta group up now. We gotta gang up now. Not be a gang, but we gotta gang up. We gotta get strong, and it starts in one simple place: our identification. Who are we, and what is our basis of our unity? We are African people in America, fighting a common war for our racial survival. Anything else somebody wants to call us is not who we are. We are black people, and we have brothers and sisters all over this planet, and we can organize. 3560, praise. Did I just do that one? Let me see. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Peace, brother. This is Brother Will I Am. I do a lot of teaching as well, and I've been teaching since actually about 95.
I'm sorry, brother. Wait a minute. Give me a praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Okay, this is my first time on the class, so
yes,
that's why I didn't say that. So
no problem,
peace and praise. Yeah, peace and praises to all the brothers and the sisters out there that been in the fight for all of us. The first thing that I want to say.
I'm sorry, brother. No, I'm sorry, brother. Brother, yeah. Praise Nat Turner.
I just praise all the brothers and sisters, bro, that put in the fight. I did.
All right, let me go to my brother Cincinnati. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner. Glory to Garvey. And long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Now bear witness, there is no other God but Amen.
There's no God but He. What's up, soldier?
What's up? How you doing, man? How you feeling, General?
Yo, you told me don't let nobody come in the house and disrespect and everybody want to be off on their own thing. You come in this house, we give love to some specific ancestors in the name and the spirit of all the rest of them. If you can't do it, you can't speak. What's up?
Look, hey, I'm with that 100%. 100%.
Yes, sir. Talk to me, man. What's going on?
I'm definitely feeling like, because the one cause everything's disturbing me, but the one cause about the brother and his son, that was a serious situation.
Yeah.
Is where he at? Can he own and carry?
Nah, you can't do that out here. You can't do that.
Also, that's in D.C. also.
It's right outside of D.C., Maryland. Yeah, Maryland got the worst gun laws in terms of concealed carry. Yeah, you can't carry it all out here.
Oh, dang. Yeah. But, I'm just, man, I'm feeling the whole situation with everybody needing to stick together
and figure out what we're gonna do next. Cause I was watching ESPN. They had it on there where they ain't let the crackers up out of the stadium.
Oh, so
yeah, they was like,
you mean in B-Mall?
Yeah, they held them in it. I'm watching ESPN. That's when I first knew that it was going down. They said they wasn't letting them out the stadium. That's what I'm like. I already knew what you was gonna talk. I said, I know you got to talk about this. So it must be going down.
Let me tell you something, man. It's going down, and what's happening, I really want to know if that new place was a cracker place or if it was black people mostly in there. Because if it was an old folks cracker home, I'm not even going to trip off of it. But give me 1 second, bro. I'm going to leave you on here, but they doing something. They talking to some brothers. I want to hear what they got to say real quick. I'm going to come right back to you, all right?
Okay, all right.
8 years, burned down our senior housing facility. We were building 60 affordable apartments for senior citizens, and as well as a transformation center with human and health services to help revitalize the community.
I have to say, you look exhausted. What have you lost here tonight?
I haven't lost my focus. I haven't lost my sense of resiliency. I haven't lost my hope. I've been a little heartbroken. My eyes have been filled with tears because someone didn't understand that we existed in the community to help to revitalize it. But now we're calling on resources to come back to see this as an opportunity to revive East Baltimore and the city of Baltimore.
Why do you believe this was deliberately set?
I don't know why somebody would do this. I can't fathom nor justify why this could happen like this. But they made a mistake.
But did you see somebody set the fire?
Not that I know of. I have no idea why they would set this building on fire.
There's a brother right here.
Individuals
Cracker
fleeing
did
from here, though.
Someone said someone was fleeing away from the site, but we don't know who it was.
Cracker
What
did
is happening for this community? What is happening to Baltimore tonight? I've been up.
Man, brothers and sisters, I'm so hurt, man. That wasn't no cry. I'm looking at this brother. I believe these brothers and sisters put that up, and I ain't sure, but it looked like the cracker did this, bro.
Told you what I tell you.
Man.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was telling my queen. I was telling her the same thing.
And I don't have enough information, but looking at that brother and listening to it, because he not even, when I'm listening to his spirit, he's saying it was a mistake. What I'm hearing him say is, they ain't nobody mean to burn this down because we doing stuff for our people here, which means it won't no mistake. Likely some devil burned that thing down, man. Dang. They did it in Ferguson. That I'm certain of. In Ferguson, they burned down black businesses.
Sound like a hat trick. Might have been a hat trick.
Sound like a hat trick, don't it?
Yeah. That's what the hat trick is.
And let me do something. Wait a minute. Brothers and sisters, if you're listening and you want to hear the rest of the program, because I'm going to come through and get everybody on the line, you're going to have to call in 347-850-1836 because it's going to go off of the internet in a minute and a half. Again, it's going to go off the internet. Everybody that's on the phone line, you can stay on. It's not a problem. But if you listen on the internet, it's going to go off in a minute. So you have to call in 347-850-1836. So go ahead, brother. I'm listening.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what it was, man. I mean, I've been on the other side. Like, man, burning an old folks' home down for black people, that don't make sense.
Nah, black people don't do that. Man, I hate these crackers, man. I hate what they you know, the whiteys burn. Black people don't burn down no place for no old folks. That's not how we do it. Now you might have a few brothers that's wilding out that might bust a window out of a car and be the wrong person, but ain't no brothers gonna go out there and burn down an old folks' home. They're not doing that unless it's a bunch of crackers in their neighborhood, you know. And that ain't what I got out of that, man. So shoot, man. Let me know what you gotta say and finish up so we can move on. Cause you always bring.
I'm finished. Straight black pride. I mean, putting crackers in the trunk.
Somebody got to do it, bro. I'll talk to you soon, soldier.
All right.
All right. Let me go to 8843. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
I'm just listening.
All right. Appreciate you listening, my brother. 7099. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. 6789. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long to the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. $34.97. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. 4690. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Just listening.
All right. Thank you for tuning in, my sister. 7259. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. 2376. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. 4232. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. $7,300. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. $7,129. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. 8231. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of the Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. I'm just listening, brother. This is a good program. Keep it up.
All right. Appreciate that, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. All right. 9073. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. $84.80. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. 1873. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Hello, can you hear me?
Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God.
Can you hear me? Who's got my phone? Selena!
Let me go to 1191. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. Let me go back to 1873. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Can you hear me?
All right. Let me go to 2682. Let me see. I'm coming to 2682. Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner. Glory to God and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Peace. What's going on, Jeannie? This is Brother Tad.
Hey, that's my brother. Oh, I owe you a call too, bro. I'm sorry, man. I've been busy today, man. I feel bad about it.
I know how you do, brother. Yeah, I chimed in kind of late, but you know I'm all in support of the uprising of the young brothers out there. But I mean, many of the callers hit it on point. You know, we just have to organize and orchestrate our movement. You know, not be so sporadic with it, because you know we're playing against chess players, so our moves have to be strategic. But this is the climate we need right now to start shaking the people up and see the need for straight black pride. Why this has to be a movement all black people with the same mind get behind.
brother. Talk a little bit about that, brother. That really, I here are the things that have come to me, and then I want you to take this thing away, man. This is, by the way, brother, since this is the leader of the Straight Black Pride movement chapter in Brooklyn, New York. This is the thing. I'm seeing this thing real clearly. We've been diagnosing the problem for at least I'm talking about myself and the conscious community in general. We've been breaking down, identifying the problem, and articulating it. I'd say since about 2000, it's been about 15 years. I feel like we got a nice, solid consistency of saying, here are the problems. And since 2009, I say it's even ramped up even more. Here are the problems on the table. To me, and this is me, and it just hit me in the last couple of days, we're now in the phase where we have to come up with real solutions, and this is what I find to be a problem. And I'm definitely going to let you take this away, but I want to lay this out, and I want people to understand why I'm so hard on certain things. It dawned on me. Dr. Wilson used to say something, and it stuck with me, and I never knew what the answer was, but she said something a long time ago. She said, if black people all agreed to do one thing, even if it was the wrong thing, it would be powerful because it would prepare us to go in a direct. It would be powerful because we all did something in unison. And it hit me like a ton of bricks recently. As we were just going out doing the anti-N-word thing for 1 day, then 2 days, it's kind of a war on the horizon position we've had since we've been here. And I've been doing this since about 2000 or maybe in the 1990s. But anyway, it dawned on me. Wow. We've been talking about the problem. But there is one thing that's a solution going in the right direction, even though it doesn't fix all the problems. Nothing fixes all the problems. It's a ridiculous statement to say, well, that's not going to fix this, that, and the other. No single answer fixes everything. However, the easiest, freest thing that's the most in our control that would hurt everything that they do as it relates to doing to us, because it prevents us from seeing ourselves as deserving it, is to create a new identity for who we are that gives our people some respect and some self-esteem. And the easiest way to do that is to say we are no longer going to use this term that you've created to make us believe we deserve to be abused, and that helps us abuse each other. It don't cost no money or nothing. If we all agreed to do that, literally, it will be the first step since 2000, since in the 21st century, the first step that we've taken in the direction, collectively, as a race of people. It will be a first offensive move we made on the chessboard. We're not going to disrespect each other. Our women are not bees, the whole. That's done. We're not doing it anymore. We're not helping you destroy ourselves. It's over. Would it fix our economic condition? No. Would it fix the police brutality? No. Well, you know what it would do? It would fix the fact that we feel like we have no value because we would not support that system anymore, and it don't cost us $1 to do it. That would be the first step we would take as a race of people, and we could still do all the other things that we need to do as well, but we would be taking the first offensive move on the chessboard in our own interest. Come on in here and talk about why we need a straight black pride movement, brother. Talk about the whole totality of why we need that, brother.
Well, I mean, you already know. I guess we're just going to chop this up for the audience right now. Because the first thing of banning the N-word is so that we do have a cohesive identity, because we can't accept the identity that was manufactured by our oppressors. See, when we start talking about the elders like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing or the ancestors like Dr. Amos Wilson, peace be upon him, they didn't like that word. They didn't support that word. They always said, don't address our people as that word. In fact, I think, when you put the video out of the Brother Bone talking about you can't kill a brother, but you can kill an N. I mean, when we start devaluing our own family members, when we start calling them the N-words and Bs, we're beating up on their self-esteem that's already been beaten down by the system of racism and white supremacy. And that's a reflection on how we feel about ourselves when we feel we got to tear another brother or sister down just so we can look like we stand taller. So now with that, when we talk about working together, if I look at you as an N, who trusts the N? Who trusts the B? Nobody. So if I look at you at derogatory terms, my behavior and attitude towards you going to be derogatory. So not only am I fighting against you, but we got the system of racism and white supremacy fighting against you. But now I'm beating you down. But once you're beat down by me and this system, who's the system going to attack next? Once we start picking off our brothers and sisters, start alienating them outside of our movement, we start diminishing our strength and our allies and potential comrades in this struggle, because that's the problem with the Mobutus. They always think that they got the answer, they got the solution, and anybody that disagree with them is an end, or they're not worthy of sharing the resources with. But what happens is, once they sell out all their brothers and sisters, the white man still needs somebody black to devour. So while you just handing over your sons, while you handing over your daughters, you handing over your brothers and sisters, and the white man devour all them, you're going to be the last black person standing. And then where's your allied forces going to be when they say, you know what, well, we done killed all the black folks around here, now you go in the chains. We don't get that part. And the thing that we talk about, if we're going to be conscious, if we're going to start talking about solutions, we have to understand the first thing we have to do is start loving each other. I ain't saying we got to sing Kumbaya, but we definitely have to change our paradigm and the view of how we see each other. I see on social media all day people talking about, look at these ends, looting and tearing up their community, and we don't control nothing. We don't own these 7-Elevens. We don't own these Dunkin' Donuts. We don't own these gas stations. We don't own nothing that's being torn down. In fact, these are the people that systematically robbing us with the GMO foods and all type of poison packed in pretty packages, selling them to our children, selling them to our elders with no regard. This is slowly killing us. These are the same people that bring the drugs in our community under the guise of this legitimate business. So we have to stop looking at our people as the bad guy and really turn the energy towards the people that are murdering our people. We're not talking about drug dealers that's being murdered in the streets. We're not talking about pedophiles that's being murdered by these pigs. We're talking about honest black people that were minding their business, wasn't caught in the act of a felony or anything, just walking the streets while black, driving while black, just going to the store to get you some Skittles, just tired of being harassed by the police and you get choked out. But then we also got to be strategic and remember, we're playing with some sophisticated people, because one of the things that go through my mind is controlled conflict. I said last summer when they had I don't know if you remember, Jeannie, they had them prank videos where the white boys was going into all the hoods around the country just playing pranks on the brothers. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that. I told people, I said, this is war. This is the reconnaissance mission right here. They're testing to see how would we respond to any aggression by outside forces. So they send them little nerdy white boys in there to go up to brothers in the hood, take their phones, take pictures of their girls while they standing with them, all kinds of craziness just to see how black men respond. And since they see that we responded emotionally, I mean, in Brooklyn, they beat on them boys. I don't think nobody let the white boys get away with it. But in other parts of the country, some brothers was just letting the white boys get away with these jokes and pranks. And they like, the powers that be was looking like, yeah, they got softening up. They softened up. So now it's the time is ripe for the picking. And what they're doing is controlling our movement so they can implement martial law and really start opening up these FEMA camps that we've been talking about for the longest. So, yeah, we have to resist, but it has to be organized and strategic. And that's why I'm thankful you got brothers like Malik Zulu Shabazz on the ground trying to fight. You got the organization NBUF, National Black United Front. They've been out in Ferguson, and I'm sure they're on their way to Baltimore if they're not there now to organize the people, because this has to be strategic. We have to join organizations, but black organizations, black nationalist organizations or Pan-African organizations. We can't get with these multicultural organizations because they're always going to put the needs of black people at the bottom because they don't share shared interests with our people. So part of the solution is, first thing we have to do is join an all-black organization. Straight Black Pride is a perfect one to join. But then with that, we got to come with our ideas and our sleeves rolled up and ready to work. We can't just join the organization and sit in the audience and watch the workers work while we just sit back in the amen corner, but we're not doing nothing, turning it into a feel-good movement. We really got to get proactive in these solutions. And then the other part of it, we have to start changing our diet, getting physically fit, and then we have to educate our children on our history. I know for a lot of our people, they're so removed from what we're going through right now, and they don't see the relationship of how Marcus Garvey had to fight this, how Harriet Tubman had to fight this, how the Honorable Khalid Muhammad had to fight this, and even going all the way back to the Prophet Nat Turner. We've always been fighting white oppression. We can't act like this thing is going away. We can't. And I mean, you know, I'm passionate about this right now, so I'm just rambling. I want to just grab all of our people, shake them up, like wake up. What part are you missing? Because it shows this is the topic of our conversation tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll talk about this tomorrow. We talk about this every day, and not only do we talk, we get active in the movement, agitate the consciousness of the people, and come up with strategies on how we could help our people move through this turmoil we're going through. You got our other side of the family who still want to party, BS, hang out, get high, get drunk. Like all of this stuff is just going to go away overnight. Like if you turn your TV off, it just goes away. And that's not the case. That's not the case, because it could happen to any one of us. And what are we really prepared to do? Emmett Till's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, said she always ignored the civil rights movement, didn't want to have nothing to do with it, and never understood the importance of the civil rights movement until her son was murdered. Then she understood what the people were struggling over. And I would hate for it to be anybody in our audience or even my next-door neighbor to not get involved and wait for her child to be murdered to decide that she wants to get involved. This is very important, brother.
That's deep, bro. Let me ask you this. I know you tuned in late. Did you hear brother, man, he changed his name to King Seals?
Nah, no, I didn't. He's probably the brother I came in on.
Yeah, he spoke for a minute. He was the brother. He was actually one of the organizers of the Ferguson whole movement.
All right, that's when I called in. He was on the phone. He was on the phone, yeah.
Okay, yes, okay, you did hear. I'm glad you said that, because when you were talking about needing to be on the ground and what we can do, that's the beautiful thing. Is what's happening is that young brother actually was there from the very beginning of when they decided they were going to create a movement. And what nobody knows is that in the first, I think he said 2 weeks to a couple of, I don't know if it's 2 months or whatever, but he said the first 2 weeks, every day, there was not hundreds, but he's saying there were thousands of brothers and sisters. And it was like a big, like barbecue, like an outing where brothers and sisters were showing love and putting aside their gang affiliations and just being brothers and sisters. No violence, no fights or nothing, saying we're not going to let this thing continue to go. The thing is, this is what really bothers me when I hear that. The good thing is that means our people have it in us. We can organize, we can save our race. The only other thing, though, is we didn't know this was happening, and it wasn't documented. So I can only imagine what that looks like. All those brothers and sisters out there that don't know exactly where to go but know they want to go somewhere. It means that, and now he's still in it, but now he saw the whole thing fall apart and be undermined by the fags, literally broke down to us the names, how they did it. This is stuff I didn't even know, to be 100% honest. I would have no way to know, but somebody like him that's there can tell us. But we actually now have about 2 years of looking at this situation. We generally know what they're trying to do, but we also know what our people's behavior is. So now, instead of letting them go in and convince our people to go out and do something that justifies martial law like they have right now in Baltimore, and ultimately King Alfred type behavior with the tanks and stuff coming to the community, we got to capture our people, let them get the stuff off their chest and pull them back. Say, okay, look, they about to do this, let's do this. And while we got that energy, we got to get the straight black pride in their spirit. We got to talk to them like they have value, and we got to let them see who their enemy is, and we got to let them understand what they can do and help them with the process of organizing. we actually are in a time where if we capture our people correctly, we can build one of the most positive, strong, forward-moving, and necessary movements in the history of the world for our race, and it'll be international because it's not just America where our people are under siege. Our people are under siege internationally. And because of brothers like you and sisters out there like you, we actually have the right folks at the right time to do the right things, brother. I'm excited, brother.
Yeah, I am too. You know, because, I mean, this makes our mission that much more easy. Because now, instead of talking about the intricacies of what these white people been doing, because, you know, it's kind of hard to convince our people who our enemies are. They bought into the Barack Obama illusion and things like that. But now with the blatant murders going on with no type of consequence, nobody's going to jail, nobody's being convicted. Just the other day, the cop that murdered Rakia Boy got off, and that flew under the radar. What was it, last week, the week before last?
That's right.
The cop that murdered the sister out in Chicago.
That's right.
They shot her in the head. He got off, you know, but that flew under the radar. I mean, these people are clearly murdering us with no consequence. But, you know, speaking to Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, she was in Harlem a couple of weeks ago, and I went to see her speak. And one thing she said that I always was thinking, she said, do you know how we would mess white people head up if we would just be quiet? If we would just be quiet in the midst of all that they do, just be quiet. She ain't saying suffer silently, but just stop telling them our plans. Stop being so emotional. Stop yelling out and lashing out so much, because we got to understand this is war. And the best strategy in war is to move real stealth, to not have your enemy know your position or what's your next move. Too many times people become camera hogs, and they get in front of the TV and they talk about, well, we're going to march on here and we're going to march on there and we're going to go down here and we're going to go down there. Nah, what we have to do is really meet in silence and just show up at places they wouldn't expect, places that will shake them to the core. Like, how about their children's school? How about outside their mother-in-law's house? Just standing there. 1,000 people, or even just 100, not marching, making noise where they hear us a mile away, and because they're mobile. They're mobile. They got their helmets, they got their cars, they got their tanks, they got the route because we got to get permits. Like, they know what we're doing is control conflict. But now, what if we just start showing up at their hangouts, and not say nothing? Just show up in solidarity. Imagine the fear. Imagine the fear. You know, I always tell people, when I was in the streets, that's just how I used to do it. We should just show up. Let you see that we see you. We see you. We see where you at. And that puts the fear of God in people. When you're like, how they know I was over here? And then you don't say nothing. You don't attack. You don't yell. You don't scream. It's almost like you're watching a horror movie and Jason show up. You look behind you, he's just standing there. You're like, oh, man. And you blink and he's gone. He don't kill you right then and there. But just for the fact that he could get up on you like that is very scary. And we really have to start coming with a new strategy, because people talk about they're tired of marching, but they march and then tear things up. And I don't mind them tearing things up. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I was against it. However, it has to be strategic. It has to be strategic. You know, and it's so much more I want to say, but I'll just leave it at that one right there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And, man, that was a powerful call, bro. I really appreciate that, bro. Glad to have you on the squad, and we're going to be doing some things real soon. I'm going to definitely 100% guarantee to give you a call tomorrow. We're going to chop it up.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Straight Black Pride, brother.
Straight Black Pride.
That is a warrior there, brother. Since that's the kind of brother you want on your team, man. A real black man. 6441, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right, 9123, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. 6047, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I'm just listening here, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate you for tuning in and supporting, brother.
All right, thank you.
All right. Oh, man. Fantastic program. I'm really, really, really enjoying this. Let's go here. 6900, praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey, and long live the spirit of the ancestor Dr. Khalid Muhammad. This is Ashe SJ, straight black pride of Abibifahodie, Brother Genie.
Abibifahodie, warrior.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm calling from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, man. The brother Tad, I'm actually going to piggyback on everything he said, man, because I was at the straight black pride meeting that we had, you know. So, I mean, the brother, he actually took a lot of the things right out of my mouth that I was going to say. But, you know, I just want to salute you, or like they say now, salute, you know what I mean, to Brother Genie and everybody that's putting in this real work. Me, myself, my whole stance on the position is, you know, today I was at the gym, and they had CNN on, and I was just checking it out, you know, just watching it without the sound or whatever. But the prompt, they kept saying, you know, how people was damaging their own neighborhoods and everything like that. But you know what I mean? Like, we don't own none of that. You know what I mean? It's just like the gentrification. People start to hate on that and talk about that as far as, you know, gentrification is taking over, and they mad about it. But we never really owned it. If you check it out, you know what I mean? Like, it was the white people living in Harlem and Bed-Stuy and all of these areas before black people came in. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look at it like that, they know what they doing, and we don't know what we doing because we're not prepared. You know what I mean? And then you got a lot of black people like y'all say Mobutus out there that are jumping on the bandwagon, and they using these terms, Black Lives Matter and all of that, and they saying, oh, we out here being the N-words and we damaging our own communities, but we don't own that. Like Brother Taz said, you know, all of these locations that's getting burned down and everything, we don't own none of that. So burn that down, you know what I mean, because that's not progressive to us anyway. You know what I mean? And that's my whole stance on that. And I also wanted to comment, because you were saying something about, matter of fact, you was playing CNN earlier, and you were saying, you know, the brother was talking on the CNN, and he was saying that the first priority was to protect the cops, and then the second priority was to protect the people in the community. Well, if the first priority is to protect the police, why the fuck the police? Oh, excuse me. Why don't the police just pull out of the community? If that's a priority, they don't want no police to get hurt. They need to just leave. You know what I mean? And let black people get this work. Let us do what we need to do. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to comment on. I wanted to say salute to you, Brother Genie. You know what I mean? And also, as far as the other brother was saying, salute to the other brother that came up. You know, he said he was from Ferguson. And he was talking about, matter of fact, not the brother from Ferguson, the other brother, he said he was depressed. And, you know what I mean? He felt sad because it's just like he don't know what the next step is or whatever. I mean, that's understandable, but at the same time, we got to stand up, you know, as true Africans, and we got to be confident, you know what I mean, and just have that warrior stance, you know what I mean, because there's always things for us to do. It's always a next step. And I think the main thing is, like you said, Jeannie, earlier, you know, it's about proximity. You know what I mean? We need to get together with people that's like-minded, that got the same agenda. And that don't necessarily mean, like, you know, everybody move right now. Everybody move to one location or, you know, one neighborhood or whatever. But when you do see an African and you piece that African, you know what I mean, and that African piece you back like a true African, you know what it is, automatically we got to stop doing this Facebook and email and all that. We got to get direct, and we got to start exchanging math, getting phone numbers, you know what I mean, meeting up, having a lot of these meetings and doing study groups and all of that so we can really plan something, you know what I mean, because people talking a lot of stuff, but ain't nobody really doing nothing, and that's why, you know, me, myself, I'm definitely going to become one of the members of the Straight Black Pride movement in New York City and Brooklyn, New York, you know what I mean, because I'm about really doing something.
Well, brother, man, let me tell you, man, I ain't gonna lie, I like them Brooklyn cats, man. Them Brooklyn cats, you know you got a brother you can rely on when you rolling with a cat from Brooklyn. I always tease Brother Bomani because I'm from D.C., but I tell him, man, ain't nothing better than having a brother with you from Brooklyn, because, you know, when it comes time to stand up for your people, he ain't going nowhere, and that really makes me feel good, brother. We're going to do some great work together, my brother.
All right, peace, brother. See you when you get back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, Straight Black Pride. The brother came in here strong, brother. Say, look, man, we got to stop, you know, just pretending, and we got to get in here and do some real work. And I agree with him 100%. Let me go to 7555. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. All right. Let me go to 4326. Praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Praise Nat Turner. I'm sorry, you said praise Nat Turner, glory to Garvey. And definitely Brother Honorable Khalid Muhammad. And I'm also add late ancestor Dr. Ben, who passed away. Got to give it to him as well.
Yes.
I get my issue is like going on what the other brother said. I'm really big on us not being open and telling people our plan, and we talk too much, and I feel like we need to be mindful of that. What we also have to do is we have to unite. Me personally, I'm one of those people I'm all black. I ain't with the Muslim. I don't believe in the Arab thing. I don't believe in the Christian thing. But if you Muslim, you're not gonna convert me to be a Muslim. I'm a Kemetic. If it's not from Africa, if it doesn't look like me, I want no part of it. You know what I mean? But my thing is, I had to change that mindset because I looked at it, and I talked to my girl because I'm trying to transition her. They could be a sister to open her eyes. She's starting to see everything now, so it's good that I could open her eyes. But now I know that it's so much of a battle to try to say, hey, listen, I don't want to be a Muslim. No, I'm definitely not going to be a Christian. So now my mindset is like, okay, look, you Muslim, okay, but you black. You Christian, but you black. You're Moor, but you black. I don't care what it is at this point. But, we do need to make a requirement like the whole, the gays can't come in. And so we all agree that the gays can't come in. So at least we can have this notion because we can't allow other people to infiltrate our movement. And this has happened over and over and over again. It happens over and over and over again. And I don't want to feel like I'm nagging about this situation. But me personally, how I feel about the situation, the reason why I feel a little funny about the burning of the businesses is because we can't go to the white man, work for him, burn down the business, and then we don't have a job to go to. So my notion is this. I have a friend right now who's in Baltimore. She said, I don't know what to do with my bills. So we got to work for ourselves. My last job, I got fired. And I told the cracker straight up, a Jewish dude, I was on the phone, and he's this and that. He's like, Easter. I'm like, I don't even celebrate Easter. And I told him straight up, I'm like, listen, cracker, I don't give a damn. They can fire me. I'll get another job. I got a job 2 days later. But then I got frustrated. My sister's like, why are you yelling at the customer? I'm like, I don't care. We need to stop working for them. We can't work for them. We can't. We have to work for ourselves. We have to work for ourselves. And then we got to support ourselves. Because all these people burning businesses and things like that, when it's Thanksgiving, when it's the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday, you're first to go spend your money to get CVS.
Now, let me ask you a question. I want to stop you where you are because I want to ask you a real live question. Keeping it real, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Do you believe that you can consistently support a business of a brother or sister on a consistent basis and help keep them? If you was making a good job, you had some money, do you believe you could consistently support them to help their business grow?
I most definitely do. And I make a big effort.
Wait a minute. And I'm going to ask you another question. Do you believe you can consistently support an N-word in business?
An N-word?
Yeah.
I can't. If it perpetuates the same, I can't support the cracker like I can't support a black cracker. So, a brother who's a self-hating Negro is kind of challenging for me to support him if I know he's openly like,
Well, let me say it again. I didn't really ask that question correctly. Let me say it differently. Here, just to be clear, we don't believe no black people are N-words. Let me say it differently. Because I'm just making a point. Yeah. And you basically answered the point, but let me just be more clear. If you perceive that person in that store, if your perception of them is that that's a brother or sister, you said, absolutely, I support them. If you look at them and you believe that that person is an N-word, are you going to support them?
I'm gonna be honest. I will give them. I'm gonna give them opportunities because my big issue right now has been that I've been going and I go hard. I push my girl to go to these businesses, but sometimes the customer service is so bad that I'm like, and I try to think about it.
I want you to understand my question. And it's a hard question to answer because I think our people. Okay, this is what I'm really asking. If you look at somebody and your perception of them as an N-word, are you really going to consistently believe that you should go there and consistently give your money? No. What I'm saying is, no. So what I'm saying is, when I asked you, would you give your money to a brother or sister, there was no hesitation. Yeah, I'm going to support a brother or sister because we got to do it. Yeah. But when we ask you if you see them as an N-word, are you going to do it? Then we got to start trying to figure out what's going on because the reality of it is, there's nothing positive about their word. So what I'm saying is this, and I'm going back to what we're saying, we keep talking about the things that we have to do. One of the things we don't realize is that there's something before any of this stuff is effective. None of it will be effective until we do a source thing. The first thing we got to do is have a positive self-identification as a race of people. As long as we got that word in our vocabulary, and whenever we have a disagreement with a brother or sister, they become an N-word, then that means, because people are what they are when you have conflict. In other words, if I'm really, really, really mad at this woman because she said something to me that I'm absolutely upset with, and I say, Mom, you really made me angry. She's my mother. She was my mother before I got angry, but you really know who she is to me when I get angry with her. Because no matter how angry I get at her, she's my mom and I love her and I'm going to have her back. That's who she really is. When you get a black person, then we get really mad and then they become an N-word. It means they was an N-word all the time in our mind. We were just waiting for the conflict to come so that we can call them that. If that's where we are with each other, we ain't going to be effective with none of this stuff we talking because they ain't going to take but one little disagreement and then we in full hatred mode. So I'm going to ask you the question again because it goes to what you were saying that we got to get off these jobs. We got to support each other. But here's the question. Can we support each other and be successful in business if we look at each other as N-words?
No, we cannot, to be honest.
Now, that's real talk, right?
Yeah, we can. I'm telling you from my personal experience, we cannot ever see each other that way.
So then, here's my question, because you're going to be the last call we taking tonight, and I'm going to leave it with them. I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to take whatever answer you give, and we're going to call it a night. We're going to wrap it up. What do we do to convince the conscious brothers and sisters, the ones of us who we may not be Pan-African, we may be Muslim, whatever we are, but we are conscious of the fact that there's a system of white supremacy and that whites are trying to do harm to our people? How do we convince the people with consciousness that if you have consciousness, it is inconsistent with using that word to refer to our people on any level, and that we should have positive, descriptive words to describe each other? How do we convince the conscious community to do that and get agreement almost across the board with the people that consider themselves conscious? How do we do that, bro?
Well, to be honest, the word I like to utilize is God and goddesses. And I literally went to a job and I called a sister. You know, I normally say G because in front of white people, when you go to certain people, you call them God or goddess. You goddess, you know, sister get confused. Like, don't call me a G. I'm like, well, sister, are you not a goddess? She's like, well, I am. Like, she's a Christian. She's like, oh, a goddess. I love this. I like the way that sounds. I'm like, yeah, because I can't see the movie. So she when she hear that she's a goddess, I'm like, you know, I have my uncle, and I was like, yeah, this, and I get to teach him too. I'm like, yeah, I came from you. She loves the fact that I put her in a position. See, some brothers, they don't see, you know, we call a brother God. He feel uncomfortable, like, oh, I'm God. Yeah, you God, you God, you know, like you create. But the sister, to me, it's easier to talk to the sister. Like, yeah, sister, you a God, you a black goddess. So I feel like you give them words to empower themselves and feel and lift their self-esteem. And I can only be honest, when it comes to the sister, it's easier because she loved it. She loved the word goddess. You know what I mean? She loved that word. You know, same way like they like the B word, that word goddess, she loved it. And and I think it's the language.
You know what, bro? I tell you what, man, because I got a message from a soldier, man, today, and he was talking about trying to get a movement to get us away from that, and he said something real close to what you just said, and I'm looking at it like, yo, I think that is the way to go, because in reality, our ancestors did put up there that at our best, we were descendants of the Creator, the God and the Goddess, which made us the sons of the gods and goddess, which means that at our best, we were God and Goddess. You know, that best self, we were moving into that type of consciousness, which means we can actually replace this demonic terminology we use for each other with something that takes us back. And when you use a term like that, and then somebody asks you why you're saying that, now you can start kicking the Kemetic knowledge and information, or just the history, or whatever, or even if you're a Muslim, Nation of Islam brother, you can say, you know, don't you know that the black woman was the first woman? It's an entryway into some dialogue and discussion, and it clearly changes the context of how we view each other. Brother, I'm going to take your advice. We're going to figure brother and sister works too, but I like that God and Goddess. I think you're right, because I noticed what you're saying. When you say Goddess to the sisters, they light up, man, but we got to treat them like that too. And for all my sisters out there listening, just because you're a goddess don't mean you're right all the time. I want you to take it too far now. No, it don't mean you my supervisor, but you are a goddess, black woman. And so, yeah, bro, I appreciate it. I'm glad you was the last call on the line tonight. That's profound wisdom, brother. Don't be a stranger around these parts. All right, soldier?
Definitely will do. Hotep, man, keep fighting, man. I'm gonna do everything within to support you. I'm bringing my girl aboard too. She's just starting to wake up. You know, I told her yesterday, I was like, you know, you a black cracker, but I'm gonna turn you black. I'm gonna turn you to a black goddess. You know, and you know, because I love her. You know, I could have break up with her and let her go, but now she's starting to see it. You know, all these other, she's opening her eyes, and that's what I want her. So I'm gonna do right by her. You know, she my black goddess.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro. Now, have you introduced her to any of the War on the Horizon material yet?
Not yet. I'm working my way up. We went to Dr. Asher Crazy was out here in Fort Lauderdale, so we went out there, and his wife was able to communicate the fashion, and her eyes open, and she loved it. And, you know, when Asher Crazy, when he came with the second part, it was too much for her because her attention span is no more than like an hour. And, you know, it related to her, but it opened her eyes. She's like, you got to teach me more on what Asher Crazy is saying for me to have an understanding of knowledge, because it surpassed my, you know, where I'm at. So I love the fact that her eyes was open. She was willing to become better at that than going to the clubs. So I'm just really
let me do
excited.
This is what I'm going to do for you, bro. I want you to write this down. It's our email address, so you can go to our website, waronthehorizon.com. It's called liberation@waronthehorizon.com. I want you to send us an email in the subject line, say, Irritated Genie said I could have a complimentary DVD. And then we got a brand new lecture. It's coming out this week, brothers and sisters. It should be out, and it'll be out by the end of the week. It's called I'm Conscious, Now What? And basically what this lecture does, introduction to consciousness for people who just starting to wake up and their partners, to be able to sit down and get an idea of what this is all about and the process for moving forward in your consciousness and how to view what you're doing, what to do and what not to do, so that we can get along with each other better. It's absolutely perfect. I'm going to give it to you for free. As a complimentary one. Go ahead.
I appreciate that, brother, but to be honest, I'd rather purchase it, because I got to support the movement when I'm capable of doing things. So, I mean, if I didn't have the money, I would take it, but I'd rather purchase it. So, I mean, as much as I am thankful for that, I mean, you work hard for it. This is what, put my money where my mouth is. I know some people
we'll do this. We'll do this. Send us the email, and then we'll put you on our email list, and then we'll make sure that we send you the email to tell you when it's available so you can purchase it. Because I'm certain she will appreciate it, and you will too, because it helps. It was done for the very reason of what you're saying, to help people transition, to have a smooth transition into consciousness, to help us mend our relationships, because brothers and sisters are in different places, but this helps us understand each other so that we can walk along the process together. So send us that email so we can get you, so when it comes out, you'll know and you can purchase it. It's only $20 to get it electronically through the mail, or $25 through the mail plus shipping and handling. Either way you can get it, and it'll be something that you really enjoy.
Okay, so that's Liberation at War@Horizon.com?
At War on the Horizon.
Yeah, at War on the Horizon. Okay.com. Okay, so the regular stuff. Okay, so I think I have that at War.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, brother.
All right, thank you, brother.
You too. Hotep.
Brother came in here, went to see the master teacher and the queen. Of course, they knocked the socks off. But brothers and sisters, this is what it's all about. This is what we're doing. We're here for our people. We really love this, and I want everybody, when this, I promise you, listen, I don't care how conscious you are, how many years you've been doing this. This DVD is one you absolutely positively got to have in your arsenal, because not only is it going to be good for you, just seeing easy to follow thing that shows where we go wrong sometime as being conscious, and give good strategies of how to pull people into consciousness and how to identify people. But it definitely is a tool when you have a person that's real, resistant to information. No matter how resistant to information they are, they can watch this one. It's not hardcore. It's easy. It's fun. There's some deep stuff in it, though. But it's only deep stuff that's showing what's going on now, and it's not a lot of it. So it's not super intense. It's funny. It's not too long. It's something they'll enjoy. It's a feel-good kind of thing, and it helps put a lot of the pieces together that people don't otherwise see. So this I'm Conscious Now What DVD that'll be coming out this week is something you absolutely positively want to get. With that said, brothers and sisters, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. It's been a fantastic program. We're going to be out there with our brothers and sisters to the best of our ability. I don't know if we're going to be able to actually get into Baltimore, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of it tomorrow. But we're going to do our best to get there and get out and be on the ground with our brothers and sisters and try to contribute something of a positive nature to that dialogue. With that said, brothers and sisters, one more thing. We had a brother online. He probably, how I was when I used to do the Facebook. I didn't know how it worked. We were talking to a devil. We starting to get devils coming on our pages making comments. So we told the European they weren't invited. They were of no use. They sounded like a terrorist. We said all kind of stuff to him. But one of our brothers thought we was talking to him. He didn't know that, like, when you put the name in there, then you talking to that person. We was talking to the devil, not the person, but the devil. Because he did a comment between the devil and my comment, he thought because he was the last person with a comment, I was talking and referring to him. So if the brother, if you out there listening, or if you listen to the program at this point, no, brother, we wasn't talking about you. No disrespect intended. We was talking about the devil, trying to get them off your forum, because this forum is for you. African people worldwide, black people worldwide, we love you. Sometimes we say things that may be offensive, but hey, we didn't come here to be your friend. We came here to save our race. We love you. We'll see you on the battlefield. War on the horizon. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Peace, African. You let our family know what's really going on out here and what we need to do. That time is upon us. It's the time of decision.
Dear revolution, you eliminate confusion. And my ancestors said you might be the solution. Help us get free so we can build the institutions. Currently we losing, see the children reproducing. They looking up the rappers, drug dealers, and the crackers. Just like another brother, ain't no scrapping, they just clap him. This cracker want it all, he don't do too well with fractions. I subtract him from the planet when I hit him with the magnum. They wrote our history in stone, but did they ever fathom black women turning dyke black, men turning faggot black? Manhood is gone, disappeared like magic. From all Charlie Graham, Trayvon Martin, we dying tragic. Brothers getting shot for a pair of Jordans. How we getting free when getting fresh seeming more important? Brothers in Chicago kill each other over nothing. Brothers in the Congo kill each other over nothing. Brothers in New York kill each other over nothing. When it's time to kill this cracker, none of y'all gon' push the button. Too busy playing Xbox, too busy getting blunted. All y'all running when the enemy's confronted. We dying by the thousands, but we fighting by the hundreds. Freedom, there's a small amount of us who really want it. Haunted by the ghost of Leopold, misery is cold. Look a man in his eye, you can see his soul. It's